Hello. Hello, Eve. I guess we'll just wait for Chapstick. I sent her the link. Boy, I didn't know if it was going to let me sign in. When I tried to enter the studio, it said traffic is unexpectedly high right now. Please try again in 30 to 60 seconds. I'm like, what? But there are a lot of people live right now. What a coincidence that Ernie went live right now, because, doesn't he care about getting the truth out about Summer Wells? Hey, Rumor. Why is Ernie trying to distract people from the truth? And I don't want this to be about Ernie. We'll talk about him tomorrow. I might do a 12-hour live. Oh, Mags, yeah. What a fucking surprise. I knew he would. He don't want anybody to listen to the facts, because that would interrupt his timeline. Hi, Jess. Hi, Max. I don't want to. I just got my blood pressure down a little bit because I was fuming. He pissed a lot of people off tonight. Yeah, Mags, I might send you a message because I'm working on a couple of projects you may be able to help me with. Wait, I'm gonna see if she messaged me. Nope. What is this? His life's called Never Again. Is that about me? Because it doesn't sound like it's about Candy. She's the subject of the day, apparently. He's all over the place. Really. He's like bumper cars or something. It's just ping pong and all over the place. Okay, here she is.
Can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. Welcome.
I don't have you in my earbuds though. Oh wait. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. You're not crackling like you were last night either. Yeah.
Well, that's what I think. It was my earbuds. So I'm actually trying the other one to see if maybe that's better. If not, I can pop it out. I was just trying to avoid background.
It does sound better. Yeah.
Okay, hold on one sec. Let me just ditch it then altogether. All right. Hey, how you doing?
Hey, that sounds perfect.
All right, good. I can't hear you very well, although your volume is super low.
Okay, I just turned it up. Is it better?
No, maybe I can
just turn it.
Mess. It's okay. Go ahead.
Settings, audio. It's all the way up.
It's okay. I'll deal with it.
Okay, everybody's saying hi to you.
Oh, you just got a whole lot louder.
Oh. StreamYard's having some difficulties. They said they're adding more resources to handle the volume.
Right, now you're just yelling at me. I got it. I think I got it.
For $106 a month, they ought to be able to handle me, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's outrageous. That's too much.
It is ridiculous, especially when they cut off my monetization because I have inauthentic content.
Yeah, that's wild.
I can't even share screen. All my content is authentic. Trust me. Okay.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
It is.
Oh, Rumor. I know. It's ridiculous. Especially when there's channels like Lame Katie that just like restream my lives and react to them. Now that would be inauthentic content, I would think.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get started where we left off. We were on the 14th, were we? Or not yet? No, not yet.
No, we're already into the 15th.
Oh, we are? Okay.
Yeah. We can go back a little bit if you want, but
No, that's okay. Let's pick up where we left off.
I believe we were at like 5 o'clock, 5:30 even, on the day of the 15th.
Okay. Hi, Nana for life. I'm glad you could join us, hon.
I think we left off with Candace stopping at the Exxon gas station to wash her hands between 5 and 5:30.
Right.
Okay. At 5:30, Tucker allegedly confirms that is when Don got the call from Candace that Summer was missing, according to his coworkers. And unfortunately, I don't have documented where that came from, but
that was his 7. Yeah, that was his 7 alibis. Was supposedly his boss and his coworkers.
But again, they also said 5:30. So I think the initial call came to Don at 5:30, and him and Candace talked a while before he called at 6:23. Because even him getting the call at 6:30 doesn't make sense because the 911 call was already placed by then.
No, they said 5:30. They said 5:30. He got the call.
Yeah. At 5:30, Jody Sue also says that she hears the old green Subaru, she believes, driving up the hill fast. She assumed it was Candace. 5:30 is Hayworth Tire closing time, where Andy worked. Employees must stay and finish any cars in the docks. Sorry. He said they're usually gone by 6 at the latest. At 5:30, Fred says he sees Andy at Zoomers. At 5:31,
I'm pump number 5 or whatever.
Pump 11, which actually researchers found out that that's like the
kerosene pump or something.
Kerosene pump that's like up against the building or something weird. So I don't really know.
I saw a picture of it,
Yeah, I don't really know. Or was it kerosene or diesel? It was some weird, not normal gas, I remember. So at 5:31, Andy texts Jody, not off yet. Jody sends him a heart and says, okay, soon, ? Andy says, about to leave. What am I doing? Jody says, getting me or not? Andy says at 6:05, now I actually shortened this text a little bit and I wish I hadn't. I need to go back and put the entire thing in. But short version was he said, if you want, I'm getting drinks. I'm on my way. Maybe that was the next one that I shortened. One of them I shortened, I know. And then Jody says, yeah, I'll be at the bottom in 20 minutes. At 6:05, she said that. Andy responds, we'll text when I pass my mom's. I think this is the one I shortened. It's hot out. He said, I don't want you to be outside for too long or something along those lines. He was trying to be nice, it seemed like.
That's the nicest conversation I've ever heard between the two of them.
It kind of sort of is. Jody says, see you soon, going down to mess with my flowers. And that was at 6:05. So she said, I'll see you down there in 20 minutes, which would put her down there at about 6:20, 6:25-ish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The next notation is that weird post, the picture that Candace posted that got deleted.
Yes.
And we were given multiple times on that, but I think that's because people lived in different time zones is what they came to realize. So I think it was posted at 6:09 or 6:06.
Yeah. 6:09.
And then deleted.
Then some people got it at 7:09. Yeah.
Right. I do have my own personal speculation on this picture and when it got posted. I'll share it if you like. I don't have to.
There's a video that same day of him riding the.
Okay. Do you know what time? I wonder what time that's from. I'm curious to know.
I think I saved the video, so I'll look and see.
But I did know that Jose, Allie, and Hunter all individually stated that when they hit Solomon's Temple Church down on the east end of Beach Creek, all their phones would ping to a signal. So I've kind of always thought that maybe that's when Candace hit that church. And maybe that's why that picture uploaded at that point. Just my own personal opinion, idea. I don't know. But they all said that individually. So kind of stuck with me, I guess. You know what I mean?
I wonder how far that is from the gas station.
I mean, it's still a ways. Like, I think that church is only max, I would say, like 5 minutes down the road, but the gas station's like 15 minutes down at least. It's like, because the gas station's pretty much all the way into Kingsport, just on like the south end of town, I believe. I'm sure somebody can confirm that. But yeah, the church is just right up the road from them. It's not far at all.
Hey, Jessica. Yeah, but I think it's still too far for Summer to have walked. She said she went down there
100%. Yeah, no,
looking
no, I
for
don't think that
Summer,
at
and
all.
I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
no,
No, I don't think that at all. I'm just saying
no.
why
I
that
know. No, I know
picture
you're not.
posted at such
Yeah.
an odd time with no
Yeah.
reasoning and then was later deleted and like it's always been questioned. That was just my like theory of maybe why it happened, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a
at
lot of
6
people said it was a memory from Facebook that popped up. They don't pop up that quick. Your memories come like a year later.
Yeah, I agree with that. I
Yeah.
completely agree with that. Yes, ma'am. Totally.
Yeah.
Also at 6:09, Andy texts Jody that he said, "I'm on my way." Jody said, "See you soon." At 6:10, excuse me, between 6:10 and 6:25, Jody says she hears the boys yelling for Summer. I don't know why I have those specific times noted. I think that's just because I don't think Jody ever actually said that. Maybe that's just my assumption again. I was trying to pinpoint the time. Anyways, Jody says she hears the boys yelling for Summer while she's at the end of her own driveway, and she started helping to search before the cops showed up. And like I said, from the text before, it seemed like she would have got down there at about 6:20, 6:25-ish.
Well, were they really looking for Summer? Because that guy on the bike with the GoPro saw the boys playing in the creek. So
That's what Jody said they were doing too.
yeah, I don't think they were looking for Summer. They were down there playing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what Jody said. She said that they were down there looking like they got caught doing something they should have been doing, and she definitely implied that they weren't looking for Summer. They were just being kids, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
6:17 was the time that Marlena's daughter's guardian told Crystal that she thought Candace had called Marlena at this time, saying Summer's missing. Did I say that right?
Yeah, but Marlene
so.
is now also claiming that Candace called her at 4:37. So
They're,
I don't.
they're both in here. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But she said one was one conversation and one was another conversation. And she said when she did call her at the 6:30 mark, whatever, that's when she finally said to Candace, "If you don't call the police, I'm going to." I
Well,
believe.
Marlene's story is a movable thing.
I agree. I agree.
Okay, do you have the times that she called David Dotson and Robin on there?
Yes.
Okay, keep going.
Yeah, we got a little bit in between there. So Jody Sue says she headed down the driveway, sees and talks to Candace, who was on the phone with Don. And Jody Sue hears him say, "So you're telling me my baby girl is missing?" Jody also says she heard Candace say at the top of the hill to, she assumed the oldest boy, "What did you do?" I always thought it was interesting that she was in two places, basically hearing two things. You know what I mean? Kind of.
Well, and I can't hardly believe that she could hear Don's end of a phone conversation. Can you?
Well, if they were on FaceTime, which from what everybody always says, that's their preferred communication, then yes, I can. Do you understand what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
like it's speakerphone, so you're gonna hear anything and everything somebody's saying.
Yeah, you're right.
So I don't know, but I know they're always on FaceTime, is what they say.
You know, when Gavel Geeks and Chasey went down there, they were going to check out whether she could have heard a scream from
Yeah,
the
they
Wells
did a couple-
property, but I
They
don't
did
know
some tests.
what did they come up with? Do you remember? I don't think I ever heard.
I think they could hear it better from one way than the other, if I recall. Like from one hill better than the other, or one area better than the other.
Okay.
I can't recall which way was better. Like, I think they said you could hear better down at Jody's house than you could at the Wells house, even. and they were talking. See, now I don't want to misquote anything that they were saying, but I feel like they were talking about like the valleys and the hills and how it's all set up and the echo. You know what I mean? Type.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would.
I asked Jody when I was on her panel
Mhm.
if it could have possibly have been screeching from Fred loading a car, metal screaming.
Yeah.
She got really mad at me, but that time wouldn't.
I don't think
know.
Gavel ever actually went there either, by the way. I don't believe so. I
No.
know a couple others did, but I don't think Gavel actually did.
How did they have service in the holler, but no one else does?
I
Yeah,
think she
that
went to
seems
Kingsport. I don't think she went to the Wells, is what I'm saying.
okay.
She went to like Summer's Day or whatever. I don't think she went to. I could be wrong.
That's a good question, Max. They seem to
Yeah.
have service sometimes and not service on others.
Yeah, I agree with that. Everybody's always said that it's splotchy, or you know what I mean.
Yeah. I don't know. I know they put a cell tower up after Summer Odyssey, right there. But it seems like if Don's on the phone all the time with PG there, remember PG said that Don didn't really leave when he disappeared when Benny was there, that he was hiding in the basement talking to her on the phone the whole time.
I do remember that.
Where in that basement do you think you could hide from the rest of the family?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay. Yeah, we don't know, Max. That is a mystery. Okay, keep going.
Jody Sue said she was playing with her flowers and waiting on Andy to pick her up. She dropped her purse and started looking.
I was going to say there was something about a purse. I remember.
Yeah, she said she had her purse and dropped her purse. Well, he was supposed to be picking her up, I believe, to go out and grab whatever they needed for the night, or you know what I mean. So I assume that's why she had her purse.
Going out to eat or something. I thought. I don't know. Maybe not.
Something.
Yeah.
It seemed to me like Andy was definitely waiting for in those nice text messages that I read in the beginning.
Yeah.
It seemed like he was definitely, in my opinion, like waiting for instructions. I mean, he literally said, "About to leave. What am I doing?"
Yeah.
And she says, "Getting me or not?" Like they're very indecisive, and like you said, they're kind of nice to each other. And it's weird because she didn't release a lot of text messages that had that kind of context to them, to be honest. You know what I mean?
Usually she's calling him all kinds of names.
Right. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're at 6:23 and 6:26. The 911 calls are made. Don says 5:30 initially. Allie says possibly one of the siblings called 911. We are told, quote unquote, a family member called. Candace Bly says to Chris that she called after throwing her phone down in the back of Don's truck and grabbing her mother's. Don says he called himself. Candy Harrier later confirms that Candace Bly called 911 in her sit-down interview.
Well, did she just repeat what Candace had told her? Now, Don's call's confirmed, right? Because it did ping off the tower or whatever.
Yeah, because it had to be transferred as
transferred to his call. But I think it was the middle boy that called, and it got the age wrong and said mom went for a walk. I think it was him. I think that's why they're not releasing it. Candace, yeah, she did say she threw her phone in the back of Don's truck, but he usually had that tonneau cover on it. So I question that.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, if she's calling everybody else, Marlena and God knows who else, why can't she call 911? You can call 911 from anywhere. You can call 911 from a phone that doesn't even have service.
Correct. And while we're on the subject, I always thought it was interesting that Don talks about how their phones were wiped clean after 3:30.
Yeah.
I do know from personal experience And I didn't know this until just like, I don't know, maybe a year ago, I guess probably 2 years at this point. When you call 911 for from your cell phone, it does not show up in your call log. It's not there. It's like it didn't even happen. So I actually did some research into why. And right around 20 or 2021, maybe 2022, but I feel like it was right around the time someone disappeared. They actually put new laws in effect for protection on domestic violence situations, because if somebody looked and saw that you called 911 on your phone, it could be used as retaliation against you. Do you understand what I mean?
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Did
was kind of shocked by that. And then I kind of put it together and I'm like, well, maybe that's why the 911 call wasn't on there. I don't know, like I said, exactly when that went into effect. So yeah.
I don't think Candace would let go of her phone though. Did you know that when you call 911, it starts recording before they pick up?
Oh, I believe that.
I saw a case like that where a lady was talking about to her husband who she killed. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that or whatever. And that was all recorded.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. It records immediately before anybody picks up on the other end.
Well, that could be another reason that they're not releasing it. Maybe there's something on there that they don't want people to know. I mean,
that could be too.
We have no idea, really. You know what I mean? But there's definitely got to be a reason that they haven't released it at this point.
Well, if a minor called, I don't think they would release it. But there's other cases where they haven't released, so there must be something in there, some reason.
I think so.
Yeah, maybe they don't want YouTubers twisting whatever's on there. I don't know. But what was I going to say about that? I don't remember. Okay, keep going. Maybe it'll jog my memory.
At 6:30, excuse me, between 6:30 and 7.
Oh, wait. I remember. So Celebrate, which is what they use to download your phone. Now, that popped up on my thing. Chris McDonough said that the software that they use to download your phone does that. He said it's done that in other cases. However, all your stuff is still in the cloud. I mean, Candace doesn't seem to have lost anything. So the other thing is that when I was reading about the Celebrate, it says it erases your something. So I do believe that maybe Chris was telling the truth for once. But I mean, if I had my phone dumped, I mean, you could just re-download it, right? You could just it's backed up. So
that's true.
I don't think that is really relevant. I really don't. And as far as Don and giving Tim Mullen his phone, I don't think that's relevant either. I mean, if the cops wanted it, he's literally checking into jail and handing it to Jim. So if the cops wanted it, they could have just taken it.
Yeah.
And they'd already downloaded it long before that. So
I'm sure they definitely downloaded it long before that.
Okay, so keep going. Sorry.
But then there's always a speculation of them having multiple phones too. So you never know how many phones they really had.
I don't think Don ever had more than one, according to someone who helped him operate it at various times.
Even after she went missing?
Yeah, she said that he didn't get a new phone until quite a while after that, when he dropped it and broke the screen. So it was, quite a while after she went missing. Okay. Now, as far as Candace, I think she was the one with the multiple phones.
Right. Which that point actually comes up in just a moment. At 6:30, between 6:30 and 7, Robin says Candace started calling and she couldn't answer. She was at her daughter's dance rehearsal and saw her calling and didn't answer it for a while, just let it go. And she also said she hadn't seen her talk to her all day long, which a lot of people speculated in the beginning that they had
plotted something,
seen each other. Yeah. Excuse me?
Plotted something.
Yes, definitely. 6:32, dispatch call goes out. At the time of her disappearance, Summer was wearing gray pants and a pink shirt and is believed to be barefoot. She stands about 3 feet tall and weighs 40 pounds. At the time of her disappearance, she had a shaved blonde haircut and blue eyes. I definitely question how Candace was calling Robin if she was on FaceTime with Don the whole time.
There's a lot of questions in her
But then
story.
that's where the multiple phones probably came into play, I would imagine. If she, had multiple phones that day, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
7:03 was the pin time that it was stated police arrived on the scene. Don says he arrived at pretty much the same time. He drives down to the shed on Beach Creek first, but he didn't go inside. He said he
because
arrived.
he saw the boys playing in the creek, he said.
Yeah,
So they were still there at that time.
yeah.
They were there quite a while.
He said he arrived before law enforcement
Yeah.
and
Oh,
saw
no.
his.
He and Andy arrived after law enforcement.
I thought he initially said he got there before the cops were there.
Okay.
He initially definitely said he got there before the cops were there. He might have eased
I've
up
heard
on
him
it
say he
later.
drove by I've heard him say the road was blocked off and he got there like
Yeah,
at
but
7:09. So
he definitely said he made it there before the cops did in the beginning.
okay.
He arrived before Ellie and saw his neighbor. Assumed Don Chambers. My bad. Don, his neighbor. He actually later confirmed it was Blue Roof Don. In my opinion, Jody kind of implied herself as the neighbor he had saw for a big chunk of the beginning, and she probably still does. And the boys, Don saw the boys also looking by the creek,
Right.
and he said he instantly knew she was gone. Same time, Jody said Andy pulled up just a couple minutes later. So I got Andy coming home at 7:05 if Don came home at 7:03. Andy Bernard gets home from work, which was 56 minutes after his last text message. I believe he's about 25, 30 minutes between work and home. Initially, he said he saw and talked to Candace Bly at a church, and Candace told him that Summer was missing. I kind of always assumed, again, it was Solomon's Temple, whatever, missionary. Because that's on the way. That would have been on the way from where Andy works. But later on, it was actually stated that it was the other one, Mount Carmel.
Well, how many churches is Candace? Why would she be? I don't know. That's very odd, I think.
I thought it was very odd, and it's even odder because why didn't Andy drive all the way down to Mount Carmel? That means he's passing Ben Hill. You understand? Coming from Kingsport.
Well, why would Andy stop and talk to Candace? I don't think there's any love lost.
I agree.
There.
I agree with that completely.
He wouldn't see the vehicle and pull in to say howdy. That doesn't make sense.
I'd like to know if anybody else recalls that or has any more information on that. I would really appreciate it.
Well, Mr. Chambers, I believe that he would see Blue Roof Don. It sounds like they were outside because Mrs. Chambers said that she was talking to Chad Arnold.
Chad, yeah, exactly.
Right before the police got there. So,
yes. Which I don't even have in here, actually, which I probably should insert, but that is new information to me.
Yeah, she said that he said, "What's going on?" And she said, "A little girl's gone missing." And he said, "Well, I'm getting the hell out of here before the cops get here."
Right.
So he left shortly before that. I guess I'm assuming they're outside. Didn't sound like it was a inside sit down confab.
Right. And if the husband was out looking early on, it was probably because he heard Candace, I would assume as well. You know what I mean? Or heard whoever yelling for her.
I think the Chambers are pretty honest as far as, Ben Hill goes. She was the one that took the pictures of the cemetery for me and said that there were cameras and that the police had come and got the footage. So,
what did you think of Candace socializing with the son?
I don't know anything about that.
Just curious if they were even friends or if it was all just hogwash, you know what I mean?
I don't know. They tried to put her in with, I see Ernie's showing Cameron's picture. Although Marlena's saying that's her cousin Earl. We'll go over that later.
Oh,
But
Lordy.
Crystal was just showing that. And Ernie showed Candace's oldest son, Andy's picture. That really pissed me off. What does he have to do with anything?
Right.
He's not helping to find Summer. Okay. Wait a minute. Oh. Yeah, Max. Why didn't you do that? Will you take some videos for us? Go to 110 and film yourself driving down to Mount Carmel and all these different places. The gas station. I mean, don't go in because I know the gas station people are have been overwhelmed with Lucky Loos, but just be interesting to see these places, I think, because I haven't been there. So stop and interview the guy with the cameras. There you go. Okay.
7-Eleven, Churchill search and rescue is dispatched. 7:15. Allie originally says it was probably about this time that Candace started to try and get a hold of Hunter. 7:30, Candace finally calls David Dotson, still trying to find Robin. Finally gets to talk to Robin after multiple tries and Hunter. Leslie, Allie's friend, said that Candace called at 7:29, or excuse me, that Hunter called at 7:29, telling Allie to call Candace.
Oh, because Allie's phone was dead
Correct.
and charging. Why would Candace have David Dotson's phone number?
Flock stuff.
What?
So have you never heard of the Flock? What do they call it? Flock something or another. Okay, so it's part of the SDA. What they do is they take elders in pairs and pair them up with families to kind of check in on. So from my understanding, and this is all just my opinion and research, my understanding how it works is if like the family doesn't come to church for a couple weeks, or the elders think the family might be struggling in some way, or just to reach out, the elders will do home visits. And they call it flock. It's like a flock visit, they call it. Because they come
Is
so they come in
David
groups.
Dotson an elder? He just joined that church.
Yes, ma'am, he did. And yes, ma'am, he was.
He was?
He was. And his assigned, I believe, family were the Wells.
That's interesting.
In my opinion. I think that's why she had his number.
That's interesting.
If anybody can debunk that, let me know. But that's what it looked like to me. And he was definitely
Hey, Paula.
let into the church with open arms and was considered an elder very early on, it seemed like. I mean,
Well, I think maybe because of his past, and I mean, he was a medic, a helicopter medic.
and a preacher and all sorts of things.
So he had a pretty good resume.
All sorts of things. I don't.
Maybe that's why.
But that's why I think she had his number. That's a really good question, though. I'm curious as to why she had it. She shouldn't have had his number, in all honesty. You know what I mean? But I questioned it a long time ago, and that was the only thing I could come up with. And I think it was him and Robin, really. I think him and Robin were the flock pair that were assigned to the Wells.
Ryan, if you're in here, ask Robin that for us. Okay, keep going.
7:30 also is when Marlena Crawford originally says Candace called her and told her Summer was missing, but later said to PG it was 4:30, blah, blah. Okay, we went over that. 8:30, David Dotson possibly arrives around this time on the hill. 8:52, sun goes down on Ben Hill. 9 o'clock, Robin arrives separately with snacks Robin
Yeah.
says neither her or David were allowed on the property for hours. Witnesses say there were Subarus everywhere. Later, it's actually stated that Dodson was initially allowed on the hill when he first arrived. And I believe he just said he prayed with the family.
I think I remember that.
And then after he realized it was a little bit more serious, they asked him to go down, I think, to the bottom of the hill. And that's where he was with Robin for the remainder of as long as they were there. At 9:00 is when Fred originally said Don Wells showed up to his house with the oldest boy.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Now, Don said he took the drugs that Candace missed over there.
Yeah.
I wondered if that's why he didn't look in the shed. But you said he didn't look in the shed?
No.
He said he didn't look in the shed.
Correct.
Huh.
2025, Don actually stated he showed up and it was still light out. It would have been dusk about that time. And he's always stated that he kicked in Fred's door, which Fred said never happened.
He might have.
Might have.
I can think of, a couple of reasons why. Hey, spread love. Potato Hill. Okay.
Never heard of that. Police later said that Candace did leave twice on June 15th.
Yeah.
Jody Sue confirmed seeing Candace leave the second time.
I believe that.
Now, this is some Fred said. Fred said the dogs reportedly hit. Oh, wait, excuse me. The dogs reportedly hit Somerset. Yes, Fred said. At the end of Fred's driveway and a small bridge by his house, which I've never been able to really locate. I don't really know exactly where that's at.
He said they hit at its truck, too.
Yes.
And that's not true. The dogs did not hit on anything of Fred's.
And down at the end of the dog trail at 110.
But the dog trail wasn't where the dogs hit. The dogs went down the driveway. I have a video of that. I should share that, where it compares the end of it's not a dog trail anyway. It's a boys' motorbike trail. But I have a picture that compares the end of that and how far it is from the end of the driveway.
Okay.
So if EquiSearch or whatever says that the dogs hit at the end of the driveway, they hit at the end of the driveway. I'm sorry. They didn't go anywhere else. I don't believe that. And how did they send on that footprint that the neighbor says? Because we didn't hear any of that. We heard that that was it, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. June 16th at 12:07 a.m., just after midnight, an endangered child alert is issued for Summer Wells. June 16th.
Is that the one that Tina said they heard?
The one Tina said they heard, she said that when they pulled up to Newton Park, and she just said it again, like within the last 48 hours. She said when they pulled up to Newton Park, everybody's phone started going off with the Amber Alert.
Okay.
Right.
I don't mean to skip ahead. I'm sure.
No, it's okay. I would definitely like some more specifics on what time that was, because I don't think that's quite accurate. Doesn't really line up.
Was that the next day?
The next day is when it was upgraded, yeah. And that was at noon the next day, or excuse me, 1 p.m. the next day.
Okay.
So 12:07.
Oh, and okay. Yeah. We can talk about that when we get to about the time. Sunlight. Okay.
Yes.
And a danger alert, but Tina said Amber Alert. Okay.
That was at 1:00.
Okay.
So 12:16 at 10:17 a.m. Jody Sue texts Andy, "I'm going down to look or help. Can't just sit here while some other mama's baby is missing. I might try to head down to Mount Carmel Church." Andy says, "Okay, be careful, love ya." At 10:52, Jody Sue says, "They're here with new dogs, new teams. Avoid walking ours. Dogs look like leading blank, blank, blank." I couldn't get the rest of the message. June 16th at 1 p.m., the alert is upgraded to an Amber Alert, which alerts and will now include the FBI and the FBI Child Abduction Rapid Deployment Team, otherwise known as the CARD team. June 16th, police and search parties post up at Mount Baptist Free Will Church. The first press conference is held by TBI at 4 p.m. Reportedly, about 30 tips were called in on the first day.
I wonder what
June-
those consisted of.
I've kind of always been curious about myself. June 16th at 5:35 p.m., Candace Bly takes a picture of Donald Wells sitting outside Grandma Candy's camper on the phone in
Right, I've seen that picture.
in full work clothes. Which I thought was kind of interesting. There was a rumor that he went right back to work, and I've never seen any verification of that, obviously, but seeing this picture recently made me wonder if that was in fact true.
What day was that?
The
Do we know
16th.
that? Okay. You sure it wasn't the 15th?
The metadata came back. She had the 16th at 5:35 p.m. So like
Okay.
he had just gotten home from work. Would have been about that time, you know?
I know the next day he was dressed in regular clothes to go to take his polygraph, and people were saying that, oh, well, he said he was at work and he wasn't. People are all confused. Okay.
June 16th, I noted that CPS was supposed to come, not verified or accurate if they ever did. I'm assuming they did. She disappeared the day before. I would assume they would come check on the other kids. I don't really know.
I heard they were coming on the 15th too, and I'm like, well, they didn't, did they?
Ryan actually just confirmed in your chat the last time that they did come on the 14th, from his understanding.
Yeah. You said that, but they also allegedly were going to come on the 15th. Remember, people were saying
Yeah.
to take the kids. I don't think they
Right.
were ever going to take the kids. Don, all the recommendations that CPS had made when they came and checked in and stuff, Don had completed. So I don't know why they would be taking the kids, and then they didn't take them, did they?
No.
Until 6 weeks later.
Yeah.
So
It's
I don't
true.
believe that. And
It's
why
true.
would they come 14th and say, oh, the case is cleared if they still had an open case and they were coming back in a day or two? That don't make sense to me either.
Well, we only know that they said the case was cleared because that's what Don says.
Right.
I could be lying. He could tell us whatever he
Yeah.
wants to tell us.
Yep.
But the rumor was that they were supposed to come back the next day. So in all actuality, we really don't know what was said. I've never heard Candace, I don't really think, speak on that CPS visit. I know she spent a lot of time on Daisy's that I didn't listen to. But I don't think I've ever heard her really speak on that visit. I'd be curious to hear that.
Don described the vehicle, so there was two people. Don said. I feel like that's like Fred said.
It is. It is. It is.
Exactly, Mags. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That doesn't make any sense to me. And they were never going to take the kids because, they left them there. If they were going to come in to take the kids and Summer went missing, they would definitely take the kids, but they didn't.
Yeah.
So apparently they didn't think they were in any danger. Well, Paul, that's what Don said. Although, who would call? The boys were always walking around with guns, BB guns, right? We've got pictures of them when they were little with those guns.
Yeah, definitely.
Who would call in and say that they saw him with guns? Who would be up there? I don't know. I question that. I still question that whole incident. But you had some.
Unless she was posting those pictures and somebody on Facebook was uncomfortable with what they saw and reported it
Yeah,
from
but
that point.
all kids have BB guns, usually.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with that, but
And I mean, they'd had them for years. So why?
true.
I mean, and she had posted those pictures. I don't know. I just question it. It might be true. You had
No,
some
I don't know.
receipts for that, didn't you?
What was that?
On the 14th, didn't you go over some?
Yeah, with the guns in their hands. In his hand. The boy's hand. Is that what you're talking
No,
about?
the CPS coming. I thought you had.
Oh yes, that was even earlier than the 14th. That was, hang on, what page
Hi,
am I on
Renee
here?
Marie.
Yeah, that was weeks before that even. Actually, that was even months before that. That started, the first time it pops up, I think, is back in like April or even May.
Well, the CPS, I know who called that they were investigating, and
You know one person that called.
yes, right.
Okay, so who's to say more didn't call?
And that, right. You're right.
You
But,
know?
they told Don, like the typical CPS things, with the kids in the bedrooms, they had to move the boys upstairs, the older boys, and she
Right.
had to build a wall in the bathroom. I mean, CPS had been there more than once. They've been there several times.
And I feel like
So,
that was a huge part of Candace's motivation in her interview, was to continue to appease whatever CPS requirement she had to or was trying to, in order to, because the boys just got taken, first of all, when Chris was there. But if you pay attention, she brings up multiple times, well, why the little guy can stay down here because he's not much older than Summer. She just brings it up multiple times. You could tell that it seems like she's talking to Chris almost like he's that guy, but he's not even that guy. Do you understand what I'm saying?
yeah.
I feel like it was like persuading what was coming out of her mouth. It controlled, I guess I'll say, what came out of her mouth, was because that was her scare at that point. The boys just got taken. She wanted them back. She didn't want them boys gone.
Uh-huh. I don't
Just
know
my
about that.
suggestion.
Yeah. Okay. Keep going.
But I know what you're thinking as well, but
Okay.
it just seemed like that was the driving force behind what she was saying to Chris, I guess. I felt like,
Okay.
a lot of what she said and what she wouldn't say, she was being really cautious, and she did not want to bring up the alcohol with Hunter. There was just certain things that she just was not willing to discuss and like beat around the bush about, I felt like. And it was because of the current concern, in my opinion, she had on that matter that was going on at the time. Like, that was her concern
Okay.
at the moment.
Paul said is Waylon the baby. Is
Yeah.
he or was Wyatt? Waylon is the
No,
other?
Waylon was baby.
Okay. Okay.
And what I'm getting to in saying all that is, like, when she was talking to Chris, I kind of got this feeling that she was more worried about getting her boys back than focusing on helping figure out what happened to Summer. You know what I mean?
I don't know. When she said, I just want my daughter back, the way she said it and looked and everything, that's the one thing that stands out in my mind, just made me doubt that she had anything to do with it. But
Okay.
if something happened, if there was an accident, she would still be saying that. She could still think that.
Yeah.
If it was
100%.
an accident, I just want my daughter back. Yeah.
That's true.
But she seemed very sincere when she said that, and looked at the camera. That just sticks in my head. I think of that all the time.
Oh, I get that. You felt her pain a little bit.
She seemed very sincere in that. So.
And that's the hard thing about this case, is like it pulls on your heartstrings in so many ways and from so many directions. You know what I mean? And I think that's what keeps people so tied into it,
Well, and then there's all the misdirection. I
Right,
still
right.
think that and like I said on Nicolina's panel a couple days ago, I said I think that the locals are just settling grudges. You know, people that they don't like, they're pointing the finger at to get back at them. I think that's a lot of what's going on there.
I think that's what half the players are doing in the case.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
Yeah,
It's like any
100%.
case where somebody goes missing or something, people call in, oh, I think my ex-husband did it, or, you know, I mean, yeah,
Mhm.
I think that's what's going on here. Only now, other than just calling in a tip, they have a YouTube channel where they can continually go over and over and over that, right?
It's crazy.
I think it's all misdirection, in my opinion.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that. It definitely keeps your interest, that's for sure. So yeah, done. And I'm sorry.
Geez, we had over 100 people in here the other 2 nights. Ernie's really successfully drained my chat, hasn't he?
Well,
You don't want people to hear the facts. You'd rather hear
yeah,
talks about child sexual abuse over there. Oh my God.
so bad.
It's horrible.
It
Okay.
is. June 26th, Allie says TBI actually interviewed Hunter, which seemed really quick to me, but
You just said June 26th.
or 16th, excuse me, 16th. I'm
Okay.
sorry. June 16th. sorry, June 16th. Which seemed really quick to me.
Which is also the day Candace went over there.
No, Candace didn't go over there for a couple of days. She didn't go over there till Thursday.
Oh,
believe.
you're
The 17th.
17th, right. Okay.
So the next day, the very next day.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
June 16th at 6 p.m. A call comes in for Earl Pumpkin Taylor, who was found floating in Richland Creek, which I noted. Strange occurrence. We definitely know who he's connected to. Not going to go over that.
Yeah, I just read who did that too.
Oh, okay. You should send me that.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know if I've seen that.
It was a couple of women, and
Yeah, send me that. Please.
that were entangled with him. Okay.
Interesting. I heard that. Maybe because you probably just read a transcript, didn't you?
I just read.
What was the article?
No, it was a post, I think. I might have taken a screenshot of it. I'll go back and I think I did. So
I just heard that same random allegation. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So please send me that. I'd like to see that.
Okay.
June 16th, Jody Sue does a video.
Oh yeah, the infamous.
When she's in the, I don't think this is the one.
No.
In the I think it's the one you're referring to, but I don't think it was the one where she was in the drive-through. Maybe.
No, isn't it the one where she was talking about the?
Yeah, because the drive-through was the night of the 15th, so this is the next
Ku Klux Klan and everything. Yeah.
Okay, so it says, so guys, I've had some problems, obviously, living in all that all day, been tied up in all kinds of stuff happening and going on. And things I'm not even going to touch on here. Just for my personal opinion, the parents are not involved. If you're there, you'd understand. Either the comments in 3 seconds of that fucking stream pissed me off so bad that I'm on fire. But I'm going to temper my tongue and I'm not going to say much. It's pointless anyways. People are going to believe what they want to believe. Summer is loved, cared for. Neighborhood loves her, cares for her. Her parents, her brothers love her. We all want her home. Feels a little empty without hearing her little giggles today. And her playing at the top of her hill from my hill. I hear her every day. My opinion, someone took the opportunity.
Yeah, she hears her every day. Those fucking
that
kids
is a little
next
short.
door. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
She turned on a dime there.
And what's interesting is I never really noticed before that she's talking about a stream that she was listening to the day after. And she says the comments in that
Oh yeah.
fucking stream pissed me off so bad I'm on fire, blah blah blah.
Oh, that could have been like press conference on YouTube, maybe.
I mean, somebody did just say they were covering Summer the first hour, so I wonder what stream Jody was listening to.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And I'm not trying to like I'm not saying anything like that. I'm truly saying, like, she says here she was listening to a stream. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, no, I understand.
That's a word that only, like, she didn't say a podcast. She didn't say a news conference. She said a stream. That's a live stream, right?
Well, at that time, she was just on Facebook, right? She wasn't on YouTube then, I don't think.
I
yeah,
don't really know.
TM.
I know she was very active on Facebook. Now,
Yeah. She was
I know
Michelle Watts group with me.
I know personally myself, I listened to YouTube for months before I ever even realized you could like comment or ever even like took part in a live stream. Like I would just watch videos, music videos or court videos or, you know what I mean? Whatever they were.
Uh-huh.
I mean, months. And then one day I caught a live stream and I was like, oh, wow, like this is like real time live, you know? And it took me a minute after that before I realized you could actually comment. People are in chat and all that's going on. And I'm like, okay, what is this? I didn't know anything about this whole community or true crime on, you know what I mean? Like nothing.
Yeah.
So
is this the live stream that she talked about the Ku Klux Klan and the meeting in the middle of the night? And
no,
don't wear perfume.
Yeah, I didn't document that, but
Okay.
I don't know when that was. I don't know the date of when that happened. I think that was years before because she had short hair in that video. I've seen the video. She has really, really short, like just barely past her ears. I think that video is from like 2019 or 20, to be honest with you. I think that was way before Summer went missing.
Okay.
I think it just got, resurfaced for whatever reason. I could be wrong.
Or was her hair just growing out from chemo?
She never lost her hair.
She didn't?
I didn't think so. Did she?
I don't know.
I never saw that.
I didn't see her back then, so I don't know.
Never saw that. I mean, she uploaded all her original 16 videos with a full head of hair.
Okay.
I don't know. I know she got radiation. I didn't know if she actually got chemo.
She had my sister had that too, the thyroid, the radioactive thing that kills it.
So I'm not sure.
Okay.
So yeah, I didn't document that one. I think it was from a couple years back.
Okay.
June 16th. Andy later states that he stayed home from work a couple days after Summer went missing, but Jody Sue was texting him this morning, possibly proving that he wasn't actually at home, which I thought was interesting. She texts him 9:00 in the morning, coming up. I'm about to read them. And I do need help on this one specific text. I'm not positive of who it is because for the longest time, the name was blurred out. But I know we've recently been told who it was. And I know it's one of two people. I'm just not sure which one it was. June 16th at 9:35, Jody Sue texts Andy. By the way, it's either talking about David Bays or Chad Arnold. I don't know which one. Ran from the roadblock in our road at about 4 a.m. after giving his name. Andy says, last night? What do you mean after giving his name? That's weird. Maybe he had a warrant. Hard to tell. We still don't talk to none of them. I don't think he lived down there anymore, though. Jody says he was coming in for Fred. Dope. No license, bad tag. But they weren't looking or caring about that shit. So if he had just chilled out, he'd been fine and let in and out without issues. LOL. They were only looking for cars for Summer. That's it. And he stopped and gave his name, but then took off when the cops stepped back. LOL. Andy probably had a warrant, damn dummy. I think it's David Bays, but I don't know.
I would think that rather than Chad Arnold, yeah.
That's what I thought too, but I wasn't 100% positive. So
Why would you give him your
your name and then leave? What?
name and then run?
What?
And okay, so they're looking for a missing child or Chucky. Got a roadblock up to check cars, right? And a guy
Right.
runs. Wouldn't
Right.
they go after him?
You would think. You would think.
Oh, wait a minute. Jessica says, I hate to sound like an idiot and even ask this, but I don't know who Andy is. It is Jody Sue's ex-partner and father of her 2 children. Do you know who Jody Sue is? It's Andy Bernard. He lived next door to the Wells. He was their pot dealer.
Across the street.
Oh, across the street, right. Yeah, rumors right on it before I even got down there. Okay.
Sorry, I keep losing my spot. June 17th, Thursday, 1 p.m. Press conference is done with Leslie from TBI. She says this case is definitely outside the norm. The runaway horse incident happens on live TV or live feed. Search teams reported that the steep and dangerous terrain, along with the dense canopy coverage and ground cover, were hindering their efforts. Poor cell communications was also making communication difficult. Also, June 17th, Candace possibly shows up at Hunter's house asking about his interview with law enforcement.
Yeah.
Hunter later said on the interview room that he saw 13 deleted texts on Candace's phone, supposedly from her dealer, Andy, saying it's done. Which we don't know if that happened.
I still question that. So she left her phone on the table and walked to the car, which was parked right there in the street in front of the house, and then saw him with her phone and ran back. So did he have time? How did he have time to count 13 texts? She was right there. I still debate. I know you said that you thought the texts were archived.
Yeah.
Because deleted texts are deleted.
Correct. But if you just swipe left, it puts it in like an archive folder, which he could have called like a trash folder.
Well, he's
but then also
he's doing a lot on her phone, reading the text, calling them and everything when she's right there.
I agree with that. And also we've discussed my opinion on Candace texting Andy.
Well, and who said that was Andy? Jody Sue or Andy?
Well, Andy said that they went on a trip to, I believe, Washington, D.C., maybe, or somewhere as a family, and he lost his phone. And he said that phone had been missing for quite some time. And then come to find out later,
Jody Sue had it.
She had it. And just from their past communications and text back and forth, it doesn't really seem, in my opinion, that Candace and Andy had much communication. Seems like Candace and Jody would talk.
I agree.
And then possibly Don and Andy would talk. But it doesn't seem like they were swinging the situation, in a platonic way. You know what I mean? And I can't see any of them allowing that.
Well, and that could be out of context. Like, we don't know what the other 12 texts were, right?
That's true.
So they could have been talking about something. Hey, Johnny Kramer.
Yeah, welcome. And to say 13 deleted texts is a very strange statement, in my opinion.
I think so, too.
It's a very specific, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I'm right there with you.
Like, I'm not buying it completely. Don't get me wrong, but I was just trying to explain to you why the trash file was a possibility in my mind, because you just shot it down because you were like, trash doesn't exist in text. It's not possible. And I'm like, wait, it is. It's called archives. It's a little different, but it's kind of the same. You know what I mean?
know there's archives, but he said deleted text. So
when you
delete it, it's gone totally off of your phone.
That's true. Okay. That's true.
Wasn't there another Andy? Well, they're saying Andy Paul, but I don't. Now, Hunter said whoever it was had been living on the property for a week. So I don't know. Andy Paul was the person that did something to Fred's daughter's girlfriend, right?
But that was years before I thought he was there.
Exactly. It was.
So I don't think that was
know.
any time near or around the time Summer went missing. And I know that there's like rumors. I don't even want to bring it up what stupid rumors there were, but like, I'm just going to say consider the source. Because I'm going to say it because consider the source. Cam, I believe it was Cam and Allie. Please correct me if I'm mistaken, but I'm pretty sure they said somebody had found a CPS ID with that man's name on it, like laying on the ground, which is just the dumbest rumor ever. But
it was in the shed, wasn't it?
Something like that. But like I said, considering the source, I'm not buying
Why
it.
would he have so he worked for CPS? That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. No, it didn't make sense at all. It didn't make sense at all. I'm just saying what came out early on. Just more of the BS that came out before.
Hey, J-Dub. I want to know why they all have so many phones. I actually have 2 phones and a burner phone that my sister gave me that she didn't want, that I never activated. And I had a 3rd phone that was through Xfinity, and I turned that in because I don't know. Pokemon. I play Pokemon. More than one phone so I can do things with myself.
Nice.
It's not like I'm doing anything nefarious. But we can't say that about Candace. Oh, Mags. In my opinion, that kid wouldn't be able to read any text that fast. He seems a little slow. I 100% agree with you. I do not believe that story. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, it is very questionable, that's for sure.
Actually, that's not when he said Andy, is it? He said Andy about the Andy or...
Well, that's why I stated last time that he definitely said it twice. And that's why I feel like he was trying to like decipher one from the other. Because he said, I saw 13 deleted texts.
Okay.
Well, later he said, I saw 13 deleted texts. And he's like, I don't even care. I'm just going to say it. From her dealer, Andy. Like, he just can't, like, he knew that dude's name. It wasn't a question. You know what I mean? But then when he was talking about the person that had been, you know, creeping around the property, I don't know, he was more vague about it. Like, he wasn't sure. It sounded something like that, but he wasn't sure is what I got from it.
Right. Oh, yeah, I think I'm sure he knew their dealer. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure he did.
Another thing, didn't you bring it up, or was it in a comment when I said that Ernie had Andy and Fred on his panel, but yet 2 suspects, but yet he never asked them any questions about that? He's just like a good old boy kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
He didn't ask Andy if he sold pills to sedate little girls, did he? He didn't
Nope.
actually ask any questions that would lead to Summer being found or her case being solved. Why even bother to have someone in your panel that's a suspect?
No, he's talking about having beer. He was talking about having beers with him. Remember? That's why I brought it. That's why I brought it up.
Ridiculous.
What? Excuse me?
Oh my goodness.
Oh, okay. Yeah. June 17th, Tony Hammonds, possible attempted abduction, 25 minutes from Ben Hill. He was arrested on the 19th. Obviously, I would assume he's been interrogated and cleared from the Summerwell situation.
He was cleared right away. I have that press conference and I posted it.
Right.
And all those charges were dropped. Every last one. He didn't have any charges from that day whatsoever.
I remember hearing different stories of who the kid was. I don't think that really even needs hashing, but like,
no,
it's just Yeah, everything was dropped. It wasn't an issue. Yeah. But
And
his
law
name
enforcement
definitely.
had a press conference saying it was in no way related. Well, Candace threw that out. Tony Hammonds and this person and that person. She just threw a bunch of names out.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah. She blamed everybody and their brother, actually. So
I wonder when she originally
mean,
said that for the first time.
that kind of makes you question why she would do that.
Yeah, I'm curious. I wonder.
Trying to draw attention away from the family again,
Right.
like Don. Oh, Summer's far, far away. She's in Mexico by now. Mm. Okay.
It's interesting that red truck ended up down there, though, huh?
That was a couple months later, though.
Still.
Well, that was Fred's customer, so they were pretty high, and
It's very possible. Very, very possible.
I mean, I think people that are high get in accidents frequently, according to what I watch on YouTube.
Oh, Lordy. June 17th, Timothy Morrison's visitation service was held from 2 to 5.
What day?
Or excuse me, from 4 to 5. June 17th.
17th? Okay.
And that was just the visitation service.
Right.
June 17th at 8:40 p.m., investigators ask anyone living on or near Ben Hill to check their trail cameras and surveillance footage and outbuildings for any sign of summer.
I think that's pretty normal.
Yeah, I agree with that.
From what I've heard, they do ask people to check around.
June 18th, Friday, Timothy Morrison is laid to rest in Morrison Cemetery. Service is held at 2 p.m. Andy says he saw all the cars pull in. I can't think of the name for that, but yeah. June 18th is also the same day that Don Wells spoke with the media for the first time. He says that her mother come in and she says Summer, and she went down into the basement and she didn't answer, so she went down there and she was gone. Please let Summer be okay and please come home. Just some bad person grabbed her, but we have no idea. We've beat our brains out, but they've covered everything we can think of already. We just really appreciate everybody trying to help like they have. Law enforcement and all these volunteers here. I've never seen anything like this my entire life. When I got home, I drove to the bottom of the property and I realized my neighbors and stuff were combing the woods looking for her. And I realized right then and there that she was not there. I knew right then and there that she was gone because she would never leave there on her own. Somebody has taken her. Somebody had taken her.
Paula McComb, what do you mean? Now it's thought that C&D did away with Summer? I don't think that. We're not saying that. We have no idea. We're just going by documented things. Just putting them on the record so people can avoid the rumors and use these things to form their own opinion. Okay.
That same day, it was WJHL that Don had spoke to. They also reported that 85 tips had been called in to date. June 18th, Candace Bly and Candace Hare presumably go to Wetlands Water Park and the AT&T store to get new phones. Brooks is actually showing the picture. Don is said to have went to Dudley's house in Bristol to pay him the last of what he owed him. Don gave him $300, Dudley said, and that wasn't even half of what he owed him.
I had never heard that.
Yeah, that was Dudley's interview with
Molly Golightly?
Yeah, with all them.
Okay.
He had mentioned that. June 19th, TBI shares photographs of the house and property where Summer was last seen. TBI asks anyone with even minute details to call if they know anything about Summer's disappearance, stating no matter how insignificant you think it might be, it's important. Please help us bring her home. June 19th, Sabbath. Early morning church prayer service was held for summer. Don briefly speaks. Dear God, all respect and love, we thank you for everything, God. Just pray that you please forgive us for our sins and help us carry on. Let us give our lives to you, God, in every way. Let me carry my cross from here on out, Lord. Thank you, God, for everything. Please watch over Summer. She's been the light of my life for 5 years. I thank you for that, God. In the name of Jesus Christ, we thank you, Father. Amen. Shortly after this, the SDA stops showing the Sabbath school class attendees. Don later says in August that they did it because they had to. June 19th, EchoSearch shows up during an extensive late night search that was done because possibly a footprint was found by Fields Road by the Bernard family home. An anonymous post was also made and later deleted that stated, I was informed by deputies to make sure when I post anything, make sure I explain it in full detail, so there is no way anyone can misinterpret it. Someone got confused over me calling a footprint physical evidence and blew their phones up thinking it was new evidence. So I'm being very precise here. 2 footprints, child size, barefoot, not my kids' prints. One on my land, one on a neighbor who doesn't want their name or location mentioned. I do not want my location shown either. Search dogs barked on my land. Deputies asked me questions about my kid's shoe size. I asked if the dog's barking meant it was her scent. He said yes. Said it had to be a recent print left after she disappeared. Informed him that my kids are never barefoot in the woods. Prints were about 3/4 of a mile apart or so. The print in my yard was behind a ridge, so not as to where we would have seen anyone. Next print was further up a ridge near another neighbor's house. Not sure which print was left first, so no clue which direction she might have been going. Yes, a child's barefoot footprint that the dogs identified her scent in my woods and a neighbor's woods. No other scent or footprints were found. Just my opinion with nothing else to have based it on. That sounds like she was being carried and was set down to make it through a rough area. You would expect more prints if she was walking. Search crews had been all over my land for several days before the footprint was found, so there were already plenty of adult prints there. I have the address, but I'm not gonna say
I
that.
have 2 thoughts on that. Why would you set her down and she's on one leg?
Yeah.
If you set her down, she'd have 2 feet on the ground. And
More than
isn't that
likely.
guy's house the wrong direction from the wells to go out? Plus, EchoSearch said that they did not find that footprint. They heard that rumor because I emailed.
No, I
Twilight
didn't say
and-
that they found
No,
it.
I know.
said they showed up that same night.
No, I know. No, I'm not saying that. You did
Oh,
say
okay.
that. I'm just mentioning that I had emailed Twilight because someone said EchoSearch found it. And
No.
I wanted
No.
to clarify that. And they said no.
No, they
did not.
showed up while the search was going on, I believe. So
Yeah.
they came after the fact, was my understanding. But no, you're right about the one print. That's really strange.
Yeah, they set her down and she stands on one leg.
Right.
And I just think she would have been screaming or yelling or why would no. Sorry. He deleted that too.
He did. You are correct. And that's why I did this, because so much was being deleted.
Okay.
You know? June 19th, Andy Bernard possibly leaves Ben Hill for a month. It's not
Cool.
verified in any way, shape, or form. Not sure.
Well, that was quick. So that's not when he left for
I think
good?
that was a Fred said
Oh,
insert,
well,
to be
okay.
honest with you. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think that was a Fred said. I think Fred said that when Summer went missing, Andy and Jody Sue hung out at the bottom of their property for 3 days straight, which he thought was odd because they were never outside. And he said right after that, I believe he said, is when Andy took off. I don't know where else I would have got that information from to insert it in here. Normally I have it marked on the things that Fred said. I don't have this marked, but that's my assumption.
No, I don't understand if it couldn't have the dogs track the scent. Yeah. Well, and the dogs, there are at least two different types of scent dogs, and one tracks skin cells or something, I think. And one, excuse me.
Yeah, actually, there's this video. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of. I think his name's Mark Rubel. I'll look it up.
One tracks the scent in the air. So.
Okay. He's the guy that did. He's like a robotics engineer guy. He's the guy that did that. He would make all those glitter bombs, like
I know what you're talking about.
That people were stealing.
Yeah.
So he put out this amazing video years ago about dogs and their tracking. And he literally put like 20 children in a room, let them play for like an hour or something, and then picked one child, took a piece of clothing from them or something, an item that they had on them, had all the kids go hide and brought in a search dog. And this dog was so accurate. It was absolutely amazing how he sniffed these kids out. And I'm pretty sure he did the way that this guy set it up, because it was an experiment. He's a science guy. This dog tracked every one of these children individually. Like, it was absolutely amazing. If you get a chance to watch this video, it is such a cool video. And
I've read that, if it's a good dog, that it said you literally cannot fool the dog. You can go across streams and do all these different things to try to shake them, and it said you can't. It's literally impossible. So I believe it.
It was Mark Rober. That's his name.
I know dogs that I had a lady that trained her dog. I used to watch her. It was on my route, and she would hide scents on different, like the neighbor's truck that was abandoned in the woods, and she trained the dog, and the dog would be in these contests and things, and then it went into water scenting. So they can do amazing things, those dogs.
Yeah, it is really amazing.
Wasn't there a scream? Oh yeah, Paula, we talked about the scream earlier and whether that was
okay. Good way to be on it. She's on it. Who is that, Paula?
Yeah.
Ready? All right, ready, Paula? June 20th, the day the story of the unfounded scream came out from Candace, overlooked for the next 2 months. That was the first day Candace ever talked about it. And it was on. So everybody always says that Candace didn't talk in the beginning. She did. She just didn't talk very much. And she talked on very, very small channels. It was only like one channel. And I can't even remember the name of it now offhand. But she did a couple interviews. And that's where I saw that Fred interview where she talked about even Fred, and he was the scariest person she knew or whatnot. It was that same lady, and I don't know who it might have been. Dawn Kay, because I know she has a channel, but I'm not positive who it was. But
I did see another interview with Candace. Some of those interviews are gone, and they were by news channels too.
Okay, see, I didn't see any of those.
Well, the full interview of Don and Candace there, you can't find that anymore. You just see that little abbreviated version that everybody shows. That was a much longer interview.
Yeah, it is longer. There is a longer version.
So I don't know why
remember it from before.
Yeah, I don't know why that stuff is disappearing, but
this is when I think that the story of Jody Sue's Heard Scream initially came out, and what was crazy is like nobody talked about it. Like nobody. I noted the date when it came out again, and people started talking about it. It's literally like 2 months away. I think it was like August something. So it was a really long time.
Hey, KB, I can't pronounce that. Only Tennessee issued an Amber Alert. You know, I think they do just issue it locally though, because I don't think I've ever gotten an Amber Alert from another state. But boy, those things are loud when they come on your phone.
Yeah. And that's why it was interesting when Tina said she pulled up and they all went off at the same time. I
Yeah.
thought it was kind of interesting.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. No. Sorry.
But I know some people right there in Kingsport that said that they said they didn't get it.
Really?
So I don't know. You know, they say that not usually a regular prison, but in federal prisons where they put the drug guys, a lot of them have illegal phones, and they post on Facebook and stuff. And they said that that's one that outs them because they'll hide the phone, and then when they put out like an Amber Alert or something, that's how they get caught.
Oh
'Cause
yeah, that makes
because
sense.
it's so loud.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but they also said that like domestic violence, people in a domestic violence situation, that if they have a hidden phone, that also alerts, you know,
Yeah.
someone living with them to that phone. So I don't know. But they do catch, they do find children from those. So I do think that's definitely a good idea.
Yeah, agreed. I did question in the Newton Park footage the placement of the sun. It definitely was not 1 o'clock in the afternoon when they pulled up to that park. So I
Oh, hey,
wasn't really,
Ryan.
didn't really
Welcome.
understand.
Ryan's in here. What did I want him to ask? Robin. Ask Robin how Candace had David Dotson's number.
Yep,
If he
there you
was
go.
part of
The flock.
Flock. Chapstick thought that maybe he was assigned, one of the two people assigned to watch over the Wells family. Because we were wondering how Candace had his number to call him that night. Oh, hey, Wisconsin Mama. Uh-oh. I told you not to out yourself. Yeah, he attacked Ryan. Aren't you sorry he did that to me too, Wisconsin Mama? You believe there was a scream? Could have been. Could have been. It could have been anything, though. It could have been anybody. Maybe somebody was looking and tripped and fell and screamed. I scream when I see bats, trust me. No, I'm not kidding. That one bat episode, I had PTSD from that, and I remember I was in my truck and a leaf flew by me, and I freaked out. I thought, oh my god! He could have at least tried to be. Yeah, we know he can't skip Trace. I'm going to be reading off tomorrow all of Ernie's addresses and aliases. There we go. Yes, and a lot of people that covered the case at the beginning, they still have really good videos, but they haven't been on really since that. They were driven off, like people tried to drive me off. I mean, if you get threatened and get so much shit over time, you just give up. I've thought about giving up a few times. I mean, Ernie's just, it's like a waterfall of bullshit over there. And it's just almost impossible to counteract all that, right? I mean, I'd have to spend 12 hours a day debunking everything over there. It's just constant. So at times I think, is it really worth it? Is it changing anybody's mind? Those people just like, now he's blocking everybody that questions him. He's definitely spiraling, in my opinion, over there. Is there a team? Hey, Reap What You Sow. Oh my god, I haven't seen you in so long. Welcome. I was trying to post that on other lives and the possibility she could be in another state. She could be. I don't know how she would have gotten to Utah, honestly. However, because nobody went to Utah till the Dr. Phil show, right? He keeps saying we. Yeah, he does keep saying we. What?
No, yeah, I don't believe they ever went to Utah before they went to California for Dr. Phil.
Yeah.
Made a
And
quick
then they went
stop.
to Utah after that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I hear one more thing about Candy leaving the hill the day after Summer went missing, I'm just gonna pack it in. That will not die. That will not die.
Well, it's because it's been said 10,000 times, you know?
It's like what is that called? The something effect. I don't know why I can't think right now. Where you hear something so often that you honestly believe it's true.
Yeah, 100%.
Somebody rumor will tell us what that is. Oh yeah, beloved ghost. No. When I was over there and I said that is absolutely not true what he's saying about Candy, and I can prove it. And do you think Ernie? He doesn't fact check anything. He loves all that bullshit. And beloved said, "No, it is true." You don't know that. I've never seen her outright lie about something. I mean, she's a big Ernie cheerleader, but I've never really seen her outright lie like that. That surprised me.
And how wild is it that these people are literally making it like a job to
Oh yeah.
distract?
Well, this is still part of his week break, right? Where he's not going to be on StreamYard, and he went live 3 or 4 times today.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry, hon. 2 major surgeries. This has been a rough year for everybody. Ask Fred. Paul said, "Ask Fred." Yeah, he did want to, but that was the year before Summer went missing. He did. Why? I don't know.
What's that?
Don
can't read.
wanted to move to Utah.
Oh, yeah. I think before and after, I think he would have went again. He would win anytime, I think.
I
He
don't know.
tried. He really wanted to. He even got a job and was working, but he just said it was too expensive out there was his
Yeah.
realization, I thought.
Well, but Margie was going to move from Arkansas to be near Don. She was going to move to Tennessee. So,
Really?
yeah. She's trying to talk Nate into it, into letting her move. Yeah. They say it all the time because no one will tell them why. What? Uh-oh. Hey, thank you. Actually, it's Chopstick. I'm just, Oh, hey, Mama, too. She does lie a lot. I guess I don't pay that much attention to her, but that's struck me that she would say that. Hey, Annie Pats, welcome. Yeah, he is manic. The other night, you could tell he was coming down because he sounded like he was barely conscious. He could hardly talk. He was, so tired. And I'm like, time for another line or hit or whatever. But yeah, he's fired up today. Excuse me. Okay. Continue on.
Alrighty. Still on June 20th, the day the unfounded scream came out from Candace, like I said, overlooked for 2 months. Also on June 20th, WJHL reports, as of this afternoon, the TBI has received 137 tips about Summer's whereabouts, with crews combing through thick vegetation, scaling steep hills, having search dogs follow trails, and even diving in creeks and ponds surrounding the Wells home and on Ben Hill Road. Don says, well, the helicopter was flying till 4 in the morning, and we was hopeful that they had some kind of lead or something like that. So we was up till 4 in the morning watching, and but nothing. They haven't come up with anything. WJHL reports authorities will continue to search for Summer from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. daily until they find her, unless they receive a tip, at which point they will go back out and continue their search efforts, which was the case late last night. But at this point, her father tells me that he does not think Summer is in the forest surrounding their house. He fears that she's been abducted, per WJHL. June 21st, Candace Bly takes a picture of Detective Pruitt's business card at 3:36 p.m. Strange insertion.
Really? I didn't see that.
It was a gavel post. June 22nd. June 22nd, Candace Bly makes a Facebook post. Okay, for all of you that feel so much hatred toward me and my kids are my world and life. Yeah, my house ain't the best. I'm not the richest person in the world, but I have no reason to lie about anything or hide anything. My life is an open book. That baby girl is my everything to me. Judge if you want, but at the end of this, God will take care of us all. Good or bad, I will pray with all my being that she comes home safe. I know a lot of you wonder why I won't talk on the news. It's because of you haters. Nothing never good enough for anyone. But I did pass all my tests. Love the world and everyone in it. So she's stating there that she passed her polygraph on June 22nd.
Oh, I didn't see.
Which I don't think a lot of people
Well,
have seen that message. That's why I wanted to make sure.
Candy
It was
also
amazing.
said that she passed a
Mhm.
polygraph. She didn't come out and say that, but she told a friend, she texted a friend of hers that she had passed the polygraph. Now, Candace took 2. The first one, she was altered, but didn't they ask her to come back in for a third and Don told her no?
Correct.
I heard that.
Correct. So they went in for the first one, I think like probably Thursday or Friday. And Don said that they were both ridiculously tired. They'd been up for the last couple days. And he said, because they have to wait so long in between each question, he said they kept falling asleep in between the questions. So they ended the test, told Candace to get some rest over the weekend and come back Monday. I don't have it noted if June 22nd was a Monday. I mean, do the math. Could have been. So yeah. I think so,
Okay.
maybe. I'm curious now. But yeah, I would assume she went back that following Monday and took it and passed.
Okay.
June 22nd also, TBI asked local residents to check their barns and crawl spaces for a place a child might hide. To date, search teams have covered 4.6 square miles and TBI has received 221 tips.
Well, they're getting a
June
few more then. I mentioned Ellie didn't seem to recognize Candace Hare when they were called to Ben Hill when BK was there.
Huh?
I don't know. Is that on a video or something? I don't. I don't know. Maybe it was different. If it was Ellie coming there, it's probably just patrolmen. Probably didn't. I mean, I'm sure she talked to detectives or whatever. I can think of reasons for that.
Police definitely. Benny said the police were there when he was there because he talked to them, because he said that he could tell by the demeanor of the cops that he felt like the cops thought the Wells were guilty. That's what Benny said.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what she's referring to about Candy, though.
No. I think KB is right. BK was there.
Yeah, he
Oh,
was.
he was there. Yeah.
Yeah, he was there in December 2021.
Oh, Mag said June 22nd was Tuesday. June 22nd of 21 was
Okay,
Tuesday.
well, so that means she took the polygraph Monday and then posted this the next day. So that kind of checks out too. Appreciate
Okay.
that. Yeah, I appreciate her looking that up.
Okay.
So yeah, that checks out. June 22nd, Tim Mullins. In my opinion, this is the first time Tim Mullins went to Benner Hill to take pictures for the local news. He lied about it for a couple months, actually, I believe. But I pinned it back to this date, was the date that I think he was there to take pictures for the news. Also June 22nd, possibly June 23rd. Jose says he was interviewed by TBI. Also June 23rd. I don't know if that ever happened, obviously, but that's what Jose said. He said it was, he gave the date. He said 4 or 5 days or something along those lines. I don't verbatim remember what he said now, but I put those 2 dates in because that was around the time that he said. Like it was either this date or this date from what he said.
Well, they did say they'd interviewed people that had been there in the past.
Yeah, 100%.
So, but Jose, I mean, seriously? Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of weird to me too. I mean, why would they have interviewed him so quickly?
I don't know.
You know, he hadn't been there for
I'd like
well
to make a
over
smart remark about another YouTuber, but I won't.
6 months at that point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless when they interviewed Hunter, I guess if somebody brought him up there, but I don't know.
I don't know either. He'd been gone for so long.
Right.
But then there was a lot of rumors that he was there after. When was he supposedly there?
But it wasn't as early as that in the case. It wasn't June 20. You know what I mean? It wasn't.
No, people
the
were
first
saying
week.
he was there. He'd just gotten out of jail and went to Ben Hill, remember? When
Yeah,
Summer
that's what
went missing? Yeah, so
Dudley
maybe
said.
somebody called in that tip, and that's why. I
But
mean,
that
then they
didn't
were.
come out. But that didn't come out for a couple months. You have to understand, we're only
Oh,
days
okay.
out of Summer being missing. She's only been gone a week.
Oh, okay. All
What
right.
would lead them to Jose a week later? You know what I mean?
I don't
Like
know.
all those
but
rumors and allegations didn't come out for weeks later.
I don't know. It's Jose. What can I
Yeah.
say?
Yeah.
I don't put much stock in anything he had to say, honestly.
I mean, that truly makes me question whether or not he was even spoke to be honest. Why
Yeah,
would they reach out to
I
him a
don't
week
know.
later? That's weird. Unless somebody brought him up, which I don't know.
It
Interesting.
is weird that far out. I mean, it was the year before that he was there, so
Right.
why would they be that far from the timeline that quickly? You're right.
Right. That's what I'm saying. He
Yeah.
left 9 months prior to this. Unless Don or Candace or Hunter or Grandma Candy mentioned his name, or Allie, I guess, there's no way law enforcement would have even known he was around. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't
Yeah,
have.
absolutely. I agree.
Yeah. So
Yep.
that's kind of strange, I thought.
I'm
June
right there with you.
23rd. Sorry, go ahead.
I said I'm right there with you.
Okay. June
Put that in the
23rd.
trash pile with the rest of the stuff. Jose said. File 13.
Yeah, I question whether or not he even spoke to them at this point now. TBI says search continued to focus on the area around Ben Hill, and detectives continue to follow up on leads. To date, 304 tips have came in, none resulting in a significant development. Investigators also set up roadblocks to ask drivers if they noticed anything unusual on the day Summer disappeared. Which also seemed weird to me because it's a week later. They didn't, I mean, I know they had roadblocks set up before, but was this the first time that they were actually talking to passerbyers, I guess is my question. I didn't understand why they said this so late.
Well, but I think that's a common thing.
If they don't have any other leads, they're just
Yeah,
going
that
to ask the locals.
I've seen them, like in a case of a missing person, like have a person like dress up like them or a decoy or whatever, and then walk in the area or whatever at the same time that this person disappeared to try to catch people that maybe drove through there at the same time every day.
That's true.
I can see that.
It's true. Do you know
Wait.
when the guy came through with the GoPro, by the way? I don't think I ever asked you that.
That was when the boys were playing in the creek.
Okay.
He posted it, but then he deleted it. He said he turned the footage into law enforcement.
Okay.
But I didn't hear a time.
Okay.
I don't know. What a coincidence, huh? Guy just happened to be cycling down there and filming.
Yeah. That would definitely help pinpoint when the boys were down there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We knew when it was. I can't believe nobody like grabbed that, you know?
I find interesting some of these YouTubers knew the Wells before Summer came up missing, I believe.
I agree.
You think they did?
I do.
What YouTubers in particular?
I don't want to say.
Okay. We'll talk about it later.
I mean, there's a couple. There's a couple that are working really hard together to distract everything and anything. Isn't that weird? Like, come on. You know? I don't have to say. People know.
Well, Jody Sue definitely knew them.
Well, she
Fred.
doesn't count. She doesn't count. He doesn't count. They're neighbors. That's obvious.
Okay. All right.
That's obvious. I think there's others that know him. Or could possibly have.
All right.
June 23rd. Rumor
Oh.
David.
Squall. Now, there's an interesting thing.
Mhm.
Squall. I
Mhm.
question that because she was there so quickly with her scrapbooking things, and she's such a big gamer, and the boys were playing Minecraft online, right? I
Mhm.
question whether Squall was playing with the Wells boys online. I have questioned that before. And that's how she got there so quickly.
Possible.
Just a thought.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just weird out of the blue that she would go there and take scrapbooking supplies. Candace doesn't look like a scrapbooker to me.
No, she really doesn't, does she?
Ernie claims he worked with Don. Yeah. He didn't
Mhm.
because that when I was on panel, and yeah, he said he worked with Don. Well, people called that electrician that he said he worked for, and he denied ever. He said, I have never had an Ernie or Ernest working for me. Plus, Shelby said he worked for an electrician installing light sockets or something for 2 weeks. When I asked him when he worked for this electrician, he said like 2005, 2006, 2007. I said Don didn't even get to Tennessee until 2009. So that pretty much eliminated any chance. Now I see where he has changed his story to how he worked with an electrician and he might have worked on the same houses as Don at some time and might have been working with Don but not really known who Don was.
Weren't him and Pam living down there before?
Yeah, but Don was painting, right? With Marlena's dad.
I don't exactly know what her dad does.
I don't know. That's what she said. We should look into that.
Huh.
We should look into that story. Marlena said it's kind of like Fred said.
Yeah.
I think, and I'm going to go over that tomorrow. I agree with the lady on panel.
I think she's got more
that would
factual
be-
details than Fred's imagination can come up with, though. Marlena's got some details that we haven't heard, so.
Well, but that's why people think it's new information. But she's changing her story. Are those details true? Or is she just panel hopping and having to come up with new things, content that people haven't heard before? Johnny Kramer agrees with you.
Yeah.
That would be Miss Chapstick. Oh, Chase 423.
That's another one.
Could have. That would almost mean Penny.
Well, you know the Chase Connect, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
PG said hi, Solon. I don't know how to pronounce Solonan. There we go. Give me a minute. PG said one time she knew of the Wells before Summer went missing.
She also said she knew, she said a family member of hers emailed Jody Sue's family member for her. Early.
Well, that's freaking weird.
I told you that before, and that was the same reaction you said then. She said that on Ziggy, like night 2 or something ridiculous.
I'll have to go back and listen to some of those. She said she saw Summer missing on a Facebook group.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know how she and Benny hooked up either. I don't know, but they worked together on it for a while.
I think Don hooked them up, didn't he? I mean, that's what we were told anyways. I thought Don gave Benny her number.
When did Benny come on the scene? How did Benny get hooked up with Don?
I mean, Doug,
You afraid to
like,
say it, or you don't know?
have you? Well, I'm debating on what I'm gonna say. Have you ever seen like the old videos of like Doug and Benny, like before Summer went missing?
Oh,
I mean, you were into the Cash Gurning case, so you should have.
I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were
Well-
pretty deep in that. And like, we talked about this before, and I always kind of felt like in the beginning, Benny and Ernie, and still to this day, because Benny is still texting Ernie to this day, they've always played this like good cop, bad cop bullshit. You know what I mean? If you're not listening to one, you're listening to the other, and they're fighting and they're talking shit, but they're really friends, but they're really talking. Like, in my opinion, so many of these creators are talking behind the scenes. We have no idea.
Oh,
No
they
idea.
definitely are. They
And
absolutely are. Even
they're
though
working
they deny it.
together, and they've
Yep.
always ping-ponged off of each other.
They're in
and
the same Discords cooking stuff up. There's
Oh
no doubt
yeah.
about that.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. It's just been this never-ending cycle. You know what I mean? And all the more reason I think that a lot of them knew each other before and worked together before and might have stirred up. You know what I don't know.
Could be. Benny worked on the West Boys too.
Yeah.
So was he with Doug then?
I don't know.
Doug's still sore about having to pay for that pizza for Monica when Benny's credit card was declined.
At least Doug was funny. Out of all of them, at least Doug was funny. I will give him that.
He's doing pretty good now. He's over on TikTok and he's kind of cleaned up and lost weight and working out, and
I wish him the best.
Huh?
I said I wish him the best.
Yeah, well,
But he was no better
what-
than the rest in the beginning. You know what I mean?
that's what happens when you get the hell off YouTube, I guess.
Oh, he's been on YouTube this whole time almost, hasn't he?
No, he's over on TikTok. I haven't seen him on YouTube.
He had a different channel last
Really?
year. Yeah.
Yes,
Definitely.
Ernie was known around there before Summer went missing. Yeah, he lived. Well, he was, because he worked at Hay House when Andy was at Hay House twice, and when Ernie worked there. So let's see when that would have been. When was Andy arrested?
I think it was 2009, I want to say.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah. Because I was trying to think when Eric was there. And then that lawyer got it shut down. They had a lot of shady shit going on there.
Oh, Rush. Okay. I didn't know who you were talking about for a second.
Yeah. Eric Rush.
Yeah. September 2009, they were arrested.
Okay, so that would have been around the time that Ernie was working there then. He said that Dr. Walsh brought him in to do illegal things. So, well, Ernie would be the person you would hire for that, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Hey, Freeside! Maybe Huff and Paint. Am I behind again?
Because Don kind of falls off. Like, his location kind of falls off after 2008, I guess. He was in Arkansas. 2007 and 8 both. He's in Arkansas. And then he kind of falls off. And then that's when him and Candace met. And I mean, I don't really get another ping on him until they're at Ben Hill, which is, I believe,
they got
2012.
They had an arrest there after Rose went missing. So that was at the end of 2009.
Who, Don and Candace did?
Yeah.
I don't have that.
I have it.
Okay.
No, they were still there. They were living in a trailer.
Where was the arrest at?
They're in
You know
Arkansas.
Okay.
I can't remember if that's the time that she punched Nate, Margie's boyfriend. They weren't married at that time. She punched him in the face.
Okay.
And I think that might have been it. Yeah, they had Candace had a lot of arrests in Arkansas. She was a one-woman crime wave there.
Yeah.
But it would have had to have been before. When was that other baby born? But Josie was born at the end of 2009.
2009.
I
Yeah.
wanted to send for an open records request on police calls at that address,
Interesting.
or involving, Dad and
Yeah.
Cam,
Yeah.
to find out what the hell really happened out there.
I wonder if you can even get those pulled at this point. It's been so long,
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they'll have. I'll look around. They also might be in old newspaper articles. I
Right.
mean, if
That's true.
did that really happen? All that stuff that PG says?
Probably not.
No. No.
Probably not at all.
But what did happen out there? And also, Lisa Jetton, how did she have that aggravated assault on a family member and that guy died, but yet she didn't get charged with any death? She did spend 2 years in prison, but I mean, why
Oh.
didn't she get charged?
Hmm.
What the hell was happening out there in Arkansas? Let's find out.
Unless it was like self-defense or something, maybe.
But she got charged with aggravated assault on a family member, so apparently it wasn't. That's what she got convicted of. She'll be over here in a minute, probably.
Beetlejuice.
I will ask Benny.
I don't think she's
Yeah.
Beetlejuice. I'm just being funny.
Well, yeah, but that's not true. They said that Don and Benny were in prison together in Texas. Benny's never been in prison. So I've also heard Benny, Tim Mullen, and Don all went to high school together in Utah. Or Tim Mullen's Don and Benny. Is that what I said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's bullshit too. No, Benny's never been in prison, so he was not in prison with Don in Texas. Yeah, how did BK get hooked up with Don? But maybe it was just a missing child's case because he did the West Boys and he did Cash Gurnan, and then
I have it with Cher in my timeline.
what?
It was Cher that
Cher what?
connected Don with Benny.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's in the timeline. I mean, it's quite a ways ahead. Might be able to find it, but basically
Okay.
what I recall was Cher did an interview, or Cher did a live stream, whatever, talking about Summer, and at the very end, she had Don K. Don K was on there with her. And at the very end of the stream, she brings up, "Oh, I want to introduce you to my friend Benny." And Don K says, "Benny Keys," all like quick and dismissive, because she knew who he was already somehow or another. Which I don't know how Don K knew who he was, but she knew. And Cher's like, "Oh yeah, my friend Benny, you'll love him, blah, 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 blah." And Benny came up. Didn't seem like Dawn wanted anything to do with Benny. Because then also, it was about, I don't know, in the same week, I feel like, Benny brought Cam on his panel for the first time. Cam didn't even have a channel at this point. Cam literally started his channel like a week later, which was interesting to me.
Yeah, that is, yeah. Cam's whole involvement in that whole thing.
And I already told you who I think Cam's connected to. So yeah, I don't know. It seems like a lot of people are intertwined. A lot. Can't all be coincidence. There's no way.
No, I agree. Doug and BK was a team. Yeah.
100% Doug and BK were a team. They were a team like Benny and BK are a team. Or excuse me, Ernie. Like the good cop, bad cop shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do we know if any flyers were put up in Utah? I don't think so. And the Wells didn't go to Utah, so I don't know how Summer would be there. I don't know. I don't think so, because I don't think flyers were put up anywhere but locally, were they?
Oh, definitely. People just put them up randomly. People posted all over that they were posting them all over wherever they traveled and
Could be.
whatnot. But
Could
as
be.
far as the family goes, it was just local, I think. I mean,
BK
they
from
might have
Michigan. Yes,
they
he
might have
was. He,
taken one when they went to Dr. Phil and dropped one in Utah or something and put some up. I don't know.
yeah. Yeah, BK was from just south of here. Don's stopover in Texas, BK met him at the airport.
Mhm.
I think
That
BK came
was
to the case around August 2021. I don't know. I don't know, but Jody Sue said he and PG were involved in the first the first fundraiser.
which I had never heard about.
No, she said there were 4 fundraisers and BK and PG were involved in the first one. I know BK and PG were close.
I knew Cher did a fundraiser really early on. Actually, that's literally coming right up in the timeline in like 2 lines. I knew that obviously Q Carlock did one, really the big one, you know what I mean? That was the one that Lip Lock was posting updates every day and they were going 24 hours a day and John Q and Scott H and everybody and anybody was up there talking, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Scott
I don't
H
know.
was odd to me.
That's what spawned Tiffany's $1,500 check rumor. They were gatekeeping, you know, and all I'm going to say is I completely understood where she was coming from at that point because I was pissed. They literally wouldn't let you ask a question unless you donated, which was outrageous, to be honest. But that was Q Carlock, I believe.
She
That was
was kind of
her.
wacky. She
Oh,
had a
yeah.
lot of misinformation over there.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But she wouldn't let anybody ask any questions unless they donated. And in my opinion, that's why Tiffany lied and said she donated the $1,500. She wanted information.
That's like,
And it wasn't right, but I understand why she did it, you know.
who's that one guy that sets a daily goal and badgers people and calls them names and stuff?
Oh yeah, Gray.
Yeah,
Claire.
Gray Hughes.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
guy's crazy. The way he talks to people is insane.
I know.
It's wacky. It's really wacky.
Oh no, you're fine, KB. We're just brainstorming here. Ask away, and if you have some, bring up something that she can add to the timeline. That's amazing. Okay, often hear YouTube knows about summer, but there isn't much other awareness. I agree, and because of summer, people are fixated on any other child that goes missing in Tennessee, ignoring the other 49 states.
Yeah, I agree with that. And it is sad.
And so much attention on summer, and there's so many other kids that are missing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay.
If you were a father of a missing child, would you say that 6 months after she disappeared, though?
What?
That the focus needs to be on all the other missing children go missing every day? Because he said that 6 months after she disappeared. Just saying. I don't know why he said it, but he said it. And these are the things that make people think that they're guilty is because they just say weird shit, you know? When you implicate yourself, people are going to think you're guilty.
I agree.
And he's done it time and time again. Hang on, lost my spot.
Hey, Wisconsin mom, is Wisconsin mom still? She didn't have the trolls she usually attracts. Renee, speaking of it, it's past your bedtime, isn't it? Okay, are you looking up something?
No, I just lost my place, but I think I have it now.
Hey, Amber. Glad to see you.
I think we're at June 23rd still. Yes. Rumored David Dotson took the boys to Putt Putt. All the boys are wearing assumingly new, interesting necklaces, in my opinion. June 24th, TBI held another media briefing to provide updates. June 25th, WJHL says that TBI asked for information about a 1998 to 2000 maroon red Toyota Tacoma truck with a full bed ladder rack, with white buckets in the back that may have been in the area. Almost 400 tips have been called in to date. And
Renee Marie, you are so nasty. What was I gonna say before you said the ladder rack? What was the thing about that? Oh,
that
definitely.
yeah, that June 25th was when they came out and asked about the truck initially.
What was the
So,
thing before that? Right before that you said?
David Dotson at Putt Putt.
Oh, okay.
All
I
the
have
boys wearing the
I have
necklaces.
that David Dotson interview, and we can go over that later.
It's in here. I don't really think I'm going to read through. I'm not really planning on reading through the interviews in here, but it's in here.
But I've played it before, but I think
Yeah.
it's worth revisiting. Like he said, the boys told him that door was locked. I do think that
Yes.
is important.
Yes.
I mean, everybody, Don and Candace have both said that door was locked too.
Yeah, correct.
But I don't think the boys had no reason to lie to David Dotson.
No.
And if they saw anything, I think they would have told him. Because it seemed like if they said the door was locked, how did that come up unless they were talking about that day?
They had to have been talking about that day. Had to have.
Yeah. So I don't think they know anything. And Lawson, a couple times, I think he lied about things because he has a tell. And when you watch him, they ask him a question, he pauses like he's thinking, and then he spits out the answer really fast. So I think that's when he lies. I've seen him do it 2 or 3 times, and I don't believe anything he said any of those times. Yep.
I never picked up on that. I'll have to pay attention.
I have no idea who Chapstick is, but hello. Amber said that. Chapstick is someone that I've had marathon phone conversations with. One was 10 hours. That was our longest one. We just can't shut up when we discuss this case.
That was our first one too. Why don't you throw that in there as well?
It was?
It was. It was the first time we ever talked. Yeah, I stole an entire day of your life. I felt so bad. Yeah, I don't do panels. I don't speak very much. I don't really watch a lot of live streams. I really catch everything on replay. So I'm not there to
I usually
speak
do
up
too.
in chat. Yeah,
Hey,
I'm not there to speak up in
Innocent.
chat or anything.
Welcome. Did you just wake up? Yeah, the real Chapstick, not the fake Chapstick that likes Ernie. This is the real one. Because I messaged her and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing in Ernie's chat? Being nice to him. No, it's a fake. That's a fake Chapstick.
Yeah, it wasn't me. So yeah, here we are. We're going over the timeline. Just to give people a refresher if they have any questions or would like to know anything. It's not 100% accurate. I'm not stating that it is, but I've tried to pay attention as well as I can and obviously take as many notes as I possibly could. So this is it.
Well, and yeah, I think that's important because so much stuff has disappeared.
Right. Agreed completely.
Okay.
We got some Jody text messages.
Oh, my favorite part.
June 26th at 1 a.m. Andy says, everything okay? Jody says, ugh, well, just go back to your parents then. And yeah, but Fred came in and now he's in the woods and Reaper is losing his shit. Andy says, on the way, love you. Jody says, I just do not get what the fuck is up with Fred and them. But this is getting weirder by the day, and he's paranoid as fuck and super extra right now. Plus him showing up or being wherever we are is getting old. And just chilling out in our mailbox at times, he knows that you leave for work, looking for dogs he doesn't own, and smirking. Andy says, running to get drink and I'll be back. Okay, let me get out of here. Jody says, I have a strange gut feeling that all of this has set his crazy into full tilt mode and we are all in danger. They should have let only the locals deal with Fred. They knew how to ask shit without pinpointing others or giving him info and people and kicking in his crazy. And that shit I heard last night, I'm telling you. Andy says, okay, on the way to the store, and then I'll be there. Jody says, I'm not wrong, but only the local cops would get it. Can we go to the witch's grave tomorrow? I want to see if that lines up. Who was there? Any clues? Andy says, pass Walker's Fork.
Who's the witch's grave?
I think it's Fred's mom. Do you know she passed away?
Had she passed away by then?
I don't know. Do you know? I don't think she had. I don't know. But I know she was referred to as the local witch. And she's talking about Fred. And I knew that I needed to look up the date of her passing. And I mean, I have it, but I haven't, I guess, cross-referenced the two.
Well, I can get it from Karen. I see Karen is blocked in Ernie's chat.
Yeah.
Anybody that actually knows anything is blocked over there. Wonder how Ziggy sleeps, eyes wide open.
Yeah. I'm looking it up because I'm curious. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. The circumstances of his mother's death are suspicious. Fred standing outside the door refusing to go in was odd, in my opinion.
She didn't die till 2024? Is that right?
Going to the funeral. Yeah, it was more recent.
Okay, then. So that's definitely not it. So I'm not sure who she's referring to then. But Witch's Grave, past Walker's Fork. And I do remember looking it up at one point, and I do feel like there is a cemetery on the north side of the road just past Walker's Fork. I'm not familiar, obviously. Maybe a local could let us know. I think I saw one on the map. I don't know, but she definitely wanted to go to the witch's grave. Was it Karen? Was it Karen?
What?
I don't know. I don't recall. Isn't Karen buried by Cotton's family? Or Cotton's?
Karen Goad?
Yeah, residence. Like right around the corner from Cotton's house, I thought. Like that little cemetery right there is where Karen's buried.
No, I can't remember.
Which I don't think that's past Walker's Fork. I don't think that's where she's talking about. I'm just trying to think about it out loud.
Well, you know, the odd thing is, why would you want to go to visit the grave of someone you call the witch?
Yeah. I mean, she says, I want to see if it lines up. Who was there? Any clues? That's why.
They say Ziggy was on Ben Hill when Summerwells.
She just posted her entire Google timeline history that she was in Miami.
Yeah, that came from Marlena, of all people, I believe, didn't it? She just said that? Yes. Or was that Crystal? One of them.
It was Marlena.
Yeah.
Crystal might have said it prior too, but that's because she was fed that information by Marlena, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not true. Ziggy proved that wasn't true.
Yeah, she completely proved that wasn't true.
Yeah. Hi, Misty Rose. I heard Marlena say Ziggy. Okay, yeah. I don't think she knows any of these people now. Did you hear her call that picture with Cameron and said that was Earl, her cousin?
Marlena?
Yeah, that was at Ernie's tonight. People are like, wouldn't she know what her cousin looked like?
Even the picture that she tried to say was Hunter did not make any sense whatsoever. Because at the time, you can see the oldest boys, Don and Candace's oldest boys, are in the water. They're no older than like 7, which would mean Hunter was probably 12, maybe at the time 11. That man in the water with those kids is definitely not a 12-year-old boy. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was a man.
How credible do you think Marlena is? No, not at all.
No.
Not at all. I mean, she's told.
Again, I kind of look at her like I look at Fred, which
Yeah.
is she does have some inside information, but her memory is completely skewered and whack at this point.
But I think she's making up something. I
I
mean,
think she definitely might be making stuff up just to get a little
attention.
but
Um,
I do think that there's some factuality in some of the things that she says.
but how do you
I don't
figure
think it's
out
all made up.
what's factual and what's not? I mean, she said
Well,
Candy brought Journey home
right.
early and said she's overstayed her welcome. Then she changed it to Candy dropped Journey off at the bottom of the driveway and she never saw her at all. So, I mean, those are vastly different stories.
Everything's changed.
Yeah.
Like the days that she was there have changed repeatedly. Like everything's changed.
Marlena lies more than Ernie. Well, that's a high bar right there.
Yeah, that's really a high bar right there. I think Marlena just has her own life stuff going on, and this is just kind of secondary. And she's just trying to recall what she can. And you know what I mean? I think she was just has that outsider, discombobulated memory of how things
Amber,
happened and when they happened.
I'm going to go over that interview tomorrow, Amber. I'm going to go over that. They were all rug addicts. Well, that was like Crystal Spencer. Even her mother said that her brain was fried when she was interviewed.
Mhm.
And she was saying things thinking that Candy and Pam were the same person. Oh, that's another thing Marlena said, that Candy was never there until just before Summer went missing. Her trailer was never there. That's bullshit. She'd been coming down there for years. And that trailer had been there for years. So if Marlena was spending so much time up there on the hill, why would she think that?
Well, like I said, the pictures that she had of the boys, they're only 5 and 6 and 7, maybe 8 at the most. So when Marlena was really hanging out a lot, I think it was when they were all younger. You know what I mean? I know that Summer and Journey still hung out, obviously, whatnot, but
Not
I don't
Marlena.
think, especially because then you have to also include Don saying that Marlena and her boyfriend were up on the hill stealing his tools shortly before. So there was something went on before. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know what, but something happened. I feel like that they'd had a falling out and maybe they, let the girls hang out or something. I don't know. It's kind of weird because it's kind of the same situation with Allie. Allie fell out with her, but she still lets her kids go there and hang out. Like, what? You had to have the cops remove your children from this woman and her house, but you're still going to let your kid leave with her? What? That's crazy to me,
Yeah.
I would never let my kid leave with somebody that I had to call the cops to get them back from. That's insane. And I feel like they all kind of had that rocky relationship,
Yeah.
Candace had that rocky relationship with Sherry. She had a rocky relationship with Allie. She had a rocky relationship with Jody. Her and Jody are buddies one minute
and then there's that
beef in the next.
The other couple that I mentioned the other day that his wife accused Candace of going after her man. Seems like there's a lot of, I don't know. Now, when I asked Jody Sue, when I was on her panel, what she thought happened to Summer, she said, "Oh, I'm not going to say." But then she said, "Well," and she was thinking, and she said, "Well, if I was going to say, I would say it was a control type thing." Now, what does that mean? And I don't think Jody Sue knows, honestly. I really don't. I don't think she knows any more than anybody else. You think she does?
I mean, no, I kind of agree with that, really. She baffles me. She really, really does. I mean, to continue to talk about yourself and your family and your situation for years upon years and be angry at people talking about yourself and your situation and your family for years and years and years is the craziest thing to me ever. Like, if you don't want yourself talked to, get off of YouTube. It's as simple as that. But she's progressed and progressed it. And her constant belittling of creators puzzles me. I feel like that's why I think that she has some kind of inside information, because if she wanted Summer to be found or this to have some kind of resolution, I don't feel like she would talk shit about any and every creator that's ever tried to figure it out. Like, what's the point of that? Why?
Wait, yeah, Crime Veil is, yeah, one of those AI channels. Didn't they have to stop and then they had Crime Veil 2 or something? No, I totally agree with that, Renee Marie. I just got sent some screenshots from Ernie's chat. He posted about Ryan's daughter being a Satan worshiper. Oh my god.
Recycled bullshit. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. I bet girl. I don't well, I got told that Ernie was, I don't know, I hate to say some things. No, he's not at Tina's. I'm surprised. He was afraid when he went to Andy's work and Andy wasn't there. He almost got arrested. He was scared to death. He was panicking. So I don't know why. Did the store, whoever was working, or the store owner call the cops on him?
They had to have if he almost got arrested. How did you know that?
I can't
guess
say, but
you don't have to make
Ernie,
that up, but why did he
Ernie,
almost get arrested, I guess?
well, and he knows he's doing shit that he shouldn't be doing, right?
Yeah.
No, he's not at Tina's. I agree, Chapstick, and I also agree that Jody Sue Brown doesn't know what happened, nor does Andy. Jody Sue Brown can't seem to accept what has happened to her. When she does, she may be able to move on and be happy. Oh, yeah. I think she'd take Andy back in a heartbeat, honestly. She's just
Oh, I agree with that completely.
really bitter that he left.
Yeah, super, super bitter.
And yes, she can't move on from that.
I don't think Andy has anything to do with anything. I think, and I'll tell you what, I am so baffled by people saying, why has Andy been so silent? Why hasn't Andy talked? Andy has talked more honestly than almost anybody in this case.
Oh,
in my
yeah,
opinion.
he panel hops, and he was in
he-
everybody's chat every single night for the
Oh
longest
yeah,
time.
he will give any and all information. He answers anything he can. He
was everywhere.
Exactly. He's made himself readily available. And for people to say that he's been in hiding, and it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I just saw somebody say that the other day, and I'm like, lady, you don't have a clue.
Well,
You're
people are
obviously
saying
not
the
paying
same thing
attention.
about Candy. They're saying, where is she? Where is she? She's missing. She's in hiding. Really? I just said somebody send me pictures of where she is today.
Right.
I know where she is. She's not hiding, for crying out loud.
I think she should have spoke up publicly way earlier than she did. I think she did a great disservice to Summer not speaking earlier. I understand that she has a lot of old, pain and memories and whatnot that came up from it all. I get that, but it's still your granddaughter. Like, you're not even going to acknowledge it for 9 months publicly? Like, that is crazy.
Well, and then that was the big breakup between Candy and Candace. They didn't
Right.
speak for a long time after that.
Right.
Candace wouldn't even let Candy know where she was. Yeah, that was a bitter breakup after that interview. But Candy told her friend that she lied to law enforcement about where she was and what happened that day.
And we talked about that. And the only indiscretion that we came up with from that interview was her saying that I think she went to the horse pond that day, went swimming.
Yeah,
And then she said about the nap, right? So I think we were on the same page when we both kind of thought that it was because of the nap, right? Like that was the indiscretion in the story that upset Candace, possibly.
Or the horse pond. Did she say?
I think
She
so. I
didn't
think
say
Summer
we went to the horse pond, right? She said,
said, I think
think
Summer went
they went.
swimming at the
Yeah.
horse pond that day.
I think it's called, yeah.
Yeah.
But then she
But-
wasn't really from there, so.
But the point that I was going to bring up with the nap was that was not the first time the nap was mentioned, which I know everybody thought it was, but in my timeline, you will see that the nap comes up soon. I mean, we're gonna pass it. We're gonna hit it in the next 2
Okay.
pages, I think. The nap was mentioned early on. It was just one of those things that was overlooked in the beginning. You know what I mean? And I, along with everybody else, thought when it came out, when she finally did that interview, what, March 2022? Like, whoa, nap? What nap? We've never heard that before. It had been out before. We just, with all the bullshit that was thrown at us early in the case, it was just one of the things that people overlooked. You know what I mean?
Well, I think people heard it because they kept saying that she took the drugs that she got at Walgreens. And I'm like,
Mhm.
that was not opioids because opioids by law have to be e-script. So she had a paper script. So, but she did say we when
She
we
did say
came out.
we came out of the trailer. She did. She did say we. That's for sure.
So
But-
I don't know.
It was just making me question even more what was it that upset Candace so much, you know what I mean, from that interview when I saw that that nap had already been out. I'm like, well, it couldn't have been the nap. We already knew about the nap and it just wasn't discussed a lot, I guess. Maybe she was upset that she brought it back out, I guess, because it was one of those facts that was just kind of buried, I guess you'd say, you know?
I don't know. I'll have to go watch that interview again and see exactly what set her off. But
I
she
have it.
was furious.
She was. I remember that. I have it in there. I can read it to you if you want.
She left
but-
and went to Kathy's, and I don't know what happened to Kathy's husband either. Oh, Prayer Garden just went live about Marlena. Oh my God. I don't know why you went out at Ryan for so often, and I called him out, and I got blocked. Karen Renfro got blocked. He's blocking everybody that questions him. He's wound up right now. He's on a holy rolling. Why?
I mean, it's not a new thing.
No, but he's really amped up right. He's really amped up right now. Yeah, isn't that true? He can hardly keep. No, he isn't. No, he's in Tennessee, but yeah, he's not at Tina's, and he's not alone either. So, I still believe Summer was abducted or lured away from the property. Well, we all have a different theory. No, he's in Tennessee. He went to Andy's work. Or did he just interview him? No, he went to Andy's work. And he did a FaceTime call with somebody at the cemetery. So he was there at the cemetery. He is. I haven't checked today at where he is, but well, you know, there's a lot of female Ernie Shells. Lane Katie is one. Tiffany Marie, who's got a grudge against Benny. Yeah, there's a lot of female Ernie Shells out there suddenly. How does he find these women? What did they find appealing about him? But I don't want this to be about Ernie. Let's go back to the Summerwells.
Yeah. That's why I keep losing my spot.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, we just got through with the Jody C text. Sabbath, June 26th, Don and Candace, both at Sabbath school. The class actually talked a lot about summer and social media. This is one of the very last Sabbath schools that we even see because they cut the feed after this. You didn't see it for months.
Well, that was because of Tiffany Marie, right?
No, I don't think early on it was. Early
Okay.
on,
Okay.
I'm not really sure. The Tiffany situation, I don't believe happened until closer to Thanksgiving. So we're months away from that still. At this point, I don't really think anybody was watching the videos. I think maybe they just took it off to keep people's anonymity. You know what I mean? I don't really know. Maybe Tiffany, I don't know, but I wouldn't think she was into it that early. She might have been though, because I
Well,
mean, if
she said she was on the case since the first hour. She's
she
changed it
was.
from.
So I think that live stream might still be available, to be honest. I listened to it once a long, long, long time ago. I knew that she was one of the first to cover it. And I knew that she was streaming when the alert came out. So I went back and I found the stream, and they were talking about something else completely. And then I think the alert came across, like it was 1 a.m. and they were online, not streaming. You know what I mean? It was like a late night stream. And I think that's when the alert came on that they had all seen. And she briefly mentioned it. But then I think the very next day she went live about her and the situation. Like Tiffany was on it from day one. She's not playing when she said that. She was, because she was streaming about
Well,
something else when it went out. So it is possible that she was meddling in the church very, very early on. But I do know that the church didn't like completely remove, like, it wasn't until Thanksgiving that they removed all the videos that had Summer in them. All those videos were up until Thanksgiving. I'm positive of that. But for some reason, like the Sabbath school and the church videos are two different things, though. Too, you know what I mean? They do two
yeah.
streams every single week, one of the service and one of the Sabbath school. So I don't know. It looked like the computer had or the camera had some kind of glitch going on, is what I thought, because Don didn't come out and say until later that they removed the videos because they had to. So in real time, when they weren't showing the videos, I wasn't sure why. But if you watch them, you could hear them. There was audio, there was just no video. The camera was like snow or like jumpy tracking, like a VHS would do, like the tracking's all jumpy and weird. That's what it was like. You couldn't see anything. The audio or the video was messed up. So I don't really know. On June 26, TBI says they will scale back search efforts due to challenging terrain and lack of new leads. Reportedly, over 500 tips have came in, which doesn't seem like lack of new leads in my opinion, but okay. And this was that post that you were just talking about that Benny said. June 27th, 2021, he posted a video on YouTube, and you thought he was referring to Molly when he said it.
Oh yeah.
I got the cheat code. I'm going to give it away for free. Y'all want to get rich on YouTube? This is how you do it. Number 1, find you a tragedy involving a child. Any tragedy. Number 2, exploit that motherfucker to the last dog's hunt. Fuck you mean. And laughs. I don't know if he was mocking Molly. I really, truly don't.
Well, Ernie played that and he said, "Oh, people say it's out of context, but it's not." Well, Ernie tonight said, "I don't like women." I was going to clip that. He had more to it, but I thought, what the
Just
fuck?
clip
If
it
he
there.
can take stuff out of context, I can too, right?
Right.
Well, no, he doesn't like women. Remember when MGL went to the church and filmed? Yes, I do.
That
She
wasn't
found that
until
she found, huh?
January. That wasn't
Okay,
until January 2022. So that's
we're
6
gonna get
months
to
from now.
that.
No,
Okay.
I'm just saying that's like months away from this. So she wasn't going to Kingsport. I mean, we're talking June. This is still June. We're not even in July yet.
Yeah.
Summer's only been gone for 13, 14 days at this point.
Yeah.
So a lot of YouTubers were not involved at this point, is what I'm saying. So June 27th, Benny posts that. Also on June 27th, Predator Hunter Nation posts their first commercial for their new miniseries.
Oh my God, I have that something too.
I know. June 28th is when Candace does the interview with Don on WJHL. I don't really feel like I need to read through that, but
No, but that
It
the
is
longer
interesting.
version's gone.
Um,
That was a much longer interview.
I mean, I got a pretty long one. I've got 2.5
Yeah.
pages here. But what I wanted to say is very interesting to me. Okay, so if anybody's followed along or even looked at my timeline, the whole thing's color coded. And that's just for me to make it easier. And that's just how my mind works and whatever. So this interview in particular, in every interview, I always did one person, one color, one person, another color. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it is so obviously apparent who led this interview just by looking at it because it's color coded. So Candace literally talks for the first 30 seconds. Don talks for the next 3 to 4 minutes. Candace gets a couple little things in here and there, but Don leads the entire rest of the conversation. And mind you, this is the first time Candace was on the news. So you would think that we would want to hear from Candace. You know what I mean? And she's literally just kind of agreeing and going along and not saying much
Well,
at
but
all, to say the least.
she doesn't like the attention or to be in front of people or talk in public. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, like on Dr. Phil, or was it Dr. Phil or the interviewer? No, it's Dr. Phil. I mean, she is kind of camera shy. I don't know why.
That's true.
I mean,
That's
there's a
true.
lot of different, a lot of different possible reasons why, but, hey, who knows? Welcome.
I think camera
Um,
shy is stretching it. I think maybe saying she was nervous on Dr. Phil and the behavior panel would be more accurate because if she was camera shy, I don't think she would have done a lot of the things on YouTube she did after the panel.
Oh, that's true. You're right.
You know what I mean? I think her nerves were getting the best of her. And that's why she was tense and clammed up like she did and got emotional like she did and all the things. You know what I mean? I mean, of course, anybody their first time is on television is going to be nervous. You know, that's a given. But I'm just saying, I feel like she was scared. That's what I got from it.
Well, I want to talk about, because a lot of people ask me, somebody just did recently, about Dawn saying, careful, your mom is listening when they ask her about Rose.
Yeah.
Okay, that wasn't because he thought Candace doesn't know anything about Rose, and I know that for a fact. She had said before to Candy, and it was on either the anniversary of when Rose went missing or Rose's birthday, and Candy was crying, and Candace said, "Why are you crying? The bitch is dead." Okay, so that really upset Candy, and that's why Don was cautioning her that her mom was listening, because Candy was sitting right there on the steps of her trailer, right next to him.
Okay, I see what you're saying. That makes sense.
Don didn't want, Candace to call Rose a bitch or say anything like that again and set Candy off. And people, for some reason, think that he was telling her not to tell what happened to Rose. Don never even met Rose. Don says that. Rose said that. I mean, they didn't go to the wedding. Neither one went to the other one's wedding. Well,
Chris said that, you mean? Or
yeah, Chris, Rose's ex, said that Rose told him she had never met Don.
Okay, you said Rose said that, and that didn't make sense. So,
Rose said that.
I just wanted to.
Yeah.
I figured you meant Chris, so I was just clarifying.
Now, Rose did go to Arkansas to see Candace, but that was before Don. There's pictures of her in front of a waterfall in a bathing suit. That was in Arkansas. She did visit Candace there, but
do you know when that picture was? Do you have a date on that picture? Should check that out.
I don't know. I'd have to look, but it was before that, and Jeannie also went there. So Rose, that would have been before Jeannie went. So Jeannie was there in 2007. So I think Rose was there before that. I don't know. I'd have to look.
Yeah, we should look at that. Just curious. So I'm not going to read through that whole interview, but I did very shortly summarize it. So I'll just read that real quick. Don Wells continues taking the narrative to the abduction theory and apologizing for searchers in rough terrain and expresses wanting to search neighbors' properties, referring to Summer as an awesome young lady. stating they only claim to know good people, so therefore they couldn't know anyone with a red truck, which doesn't make any sense, obviously, and says they don't know many of their neighbors. Don and Candace also contradict each other, sitting right next to each other about why Summer's hair was cut short.
Yeah, I
Both-
remember that.
Yeah, both spoke in past tense. Don even said he was sorry and trying to work on it. And oblivious to what he just said, Candace literally does it again. Also, when asked about the timeline, Candace says, time gets away from you when you're trying to enjoy yourself. So, yeah, that was just my summary on the interview. On June 28th, Ethan posts a red Toyota pic of a truck with no ladder rack. Said his red Toyota had taken its last ride with an American flag covering the front seat, like a bench seat.
Was that when it was totaled? After it was totaled or before?
After.
After it was totaled. Okay.
Mhm.
Hey, Crybaby. Good to see you.
Did
Yeah,
you
that-
see it totaled and how it was and where
Yeah.
it was? And that was pretty
I
wild.
yeah, I saw it.
It definitely looked intentional. Didn't look like it accidentally happened out there in the middle of a field. I don't know. Strange. June 29th, TBI urges the public only to share info from credible sources. Sharing speculation or rumors only makes the process more difficult for law enforcement by increasing the number of non-credible tips. To date, 650 tips have been received.
Now that seems like quite a few
Yeah.
for that case.
June 29th, Predator Hunter Nation releases second commercial on YouTube for the PHN The Real Stories official mini documentary coming August 21st.
Did
Also
they ever
June-
do that? They never did that, did they?
They never did that, ma'am. Not to my knowledge.
No.
Also June 29th, EchoSearch possibly shows up again. Reportedly, they were not wanted.
Yeah, I
do
remember
not-
that.
I do
Don
not know if that date is completely accurate, though, I will say.
objected to them, and I don't remember why. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know either. June 30th, the behavior panel does their first review on Don and Candace's interview, which actually I did not come across until like 6 months ago. I had no idea. Like I knew that I knew that they went over them for Dr. Phil, and I had seen that and whatever. And then all of a sudden I'm scrolling and I see this other one and I'm like, wait a minute, that wasn't Dr. Phil. Like, what is this? And I realized that, they did it in June, which I couldn't believe. I did not know they talked about Don and Candace that early in the case. I had no idea.
People were so upset with them because they didn't crucify Don and Candace.
Yes. And I mean, I'll be honest, like, even the second one, I was very upset watching the second one for that reason exactly. But as I started to learn things and the case progressed, I kind of started to agree with them more and more and more. So.
Wait, it's also said to be 3 feet tall, but looking at the height of the red barrel, how tall was she? I don't know. I'd have to look at that. I'd have to look at that again. I'd say that's about the height of that. I don't know. That's a very good question. Huh. But
Yeah, I've never thought about that either.
Yeah. Oh, he said 55-gallon metal barrels about 36 inches tall. So that would be 3 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll have to look at that. But then again, if it was one of the boys that called in, I don't know.
Yeah.
People thought that sounded light for But she was a tiny little girl.
Yeah, she was little.
So I don't know. Okay, keep going.
July 1st, Polk County Sheriff's Office reports that Summer's disappearance has renewed interest in the case of her missing aunt, Rosemarie Bly, missing from Polk County since 2009.
Yeah. And
Um,
the detective was not happy.
yeah, I remember you had said that.
He said he got so many bullshit, like Candace buried in the driveway. Or Rose, they actually had to go back out with the dogs after that. He said it's such a huge waste of our time and resources, checking out all those YouTube rumors.
Right.
I mean, those weren't people from Wisconsin that knew what happened. Oh, Carrie said chapstick. These have been awesome. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Okay, KB, I will look at that. I will check that out. Okay, I was gonna say perspective, yes. I'll look. And there's other videos of all the kids with the barrels when they're riding mini bikes and stuff. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I'll look at those and see. Okay, keep going. We got about 15 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. July 2nd, 2021. It was actually when Allie's interview aired with Unmasked. Unfortunately, I don't have it transcribed, but I do have a small synopsis of it. She talks about meeting Candace and their falling out regarding the Jose incident. She talks about the day Summer disappeared, confirming when H was picked up and dropped off. She said 10:30 and 2:30. She said Summer did slip on a rock and went under, but H got her after a few seconds. Allie said she can't talk about 10:30 to 12:30. She confirms that she thought the boys were home alone all day cleaning, and said that her oldest daughter is mad at and has currently cut ties with Candace, and mentioned when Candace was talking about Rose recently, she said the bitch was dead, not being empathetic to Grandma Candy being upset one time when reminiscing about Rose. Allie
Yeah.
also said it takes 45 minutes to get from her house to Ben Hill, which I thought seemed kind of high. I thought it only took like 25 minutes.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's how long? Say it again.
45 minutes.
No, that is
Yeah.
too long.
Yeah, that's what I
It's
thought.
not 45 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. 30 minutes tops with traffic or tractor or whatever, you know what I mean? But I wouldn't think it would take much more than that. She's not that far away from her.
No.
Plus, Allie's on like the far, far west side of Kingsport, like closest to Rogersville. You know what I mean? It's not like you really even have to drive that far through town to leave Allie's to go. I just thought that was off. Sabbath, July 3rd, camera is blurry, no video. Also July 3rd, Don has a call with Jay for Justice. Says the boys were not at work with him the day of. In fact, he says he still is not sure where they were that day, which is pretty fucking weird.
That is weird.
Yeah. Said cops saw a 4-door yellow vehicle. And then I noted
They did. I'd forgotten about that.
yeah. And in here I had noted, I wrote Dudley ? When did JSB get hers ? Fred had a yellow truck ? It says vehicle was headed towards Rogersville when they were en route to Ben Hill. Don also mentioned that Allie's oldest daughter recently got in trouble and wanted Candace to lie for her, which whatever. The intro, and this in my opinion was how Don was introduced to Cher, because Cher was a huge follower of Jay.
Oh, now that's interesting. I did not know that.
That was Don's first real phone call, I believe, with anybody was with Jay for Justice. And Cher has always been super tight, or was always super tight with Jay. So I always
Is that
was
still
under
up? That phone call?
probably. Oh, I'm sure Jay doesn't delete anything. Yeah, I bet it is. I'll look for it. I'll send you. I'll look for it for you.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah, she doesn't delete anything like that. She keep all her stuff still up, unless. Yeah, I don't think she's had any issues. Like she hasn't lost anything or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I know I don't delete anything either. Even though Ernie continually says I do. But then he never watches me, right? So how do you know?
Well, let's hope
Just
he's not
saying.
watching now because we're going to talk about his check-ins. Remember the list? You want to go over the check-ins?
I need all the check-ins you have.
All right.
Way back,
All right.
okay?
All right.
Some that
So
don't, before this whole case, I need those. I was going to ask you that. You know what I'm going to do.
there's some earlier.
So,
There's some
yeah.
earlier ones, but these were weird to me because they were all in such a tight knit. I mean, there's literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 10 in 2 days, essentially. One is 1 day, but the other 9 are just in 2 days. So whatever. Okay. July 6th, 2021, Ernie checks in to Washington, D.C. July 7th, Ernie checks in to West Manhattan, New York. Also July 7th, Ernie checks in at Jeffrey Epstein's house in New York. Also July 7th, Ernie checks in at LaGuardia Airport, East Elmhurst, New York. Also July 7th, Ernie checks in at Amityville Horror House in New Miami, Ohio. July 8th, Ernie checks in to Baltimore, Maryland. Also July 8th, Ernie checked into Wilmington, Delaware. Also July 8th, Ernie checked into the White House in D.C. Also July 8th, Ernie checks into Vineland in New Jersey. Vineland? Also July 8th, he checked into Atlantic City, New Jersey. It's very strange. I don't get it.
Well, what I'm going to say, and I made a post about this, was tonight that mystery caller that was saying, Candy,
Mm-hmm.
why would someone have so many addresses and travel state to state when their family is in Tennessee? Well, her family is in Wisconsin.
Right.
Candace was the only one in Tennessee. But besides that, who do we know that travels from state to state whose family is in Kentucky? I just thought that was so ironic that she would say that.
Yeah,
to Ernie.
I agree.
Like, these people have no self-awareness, no concept of the irony of what they say. Like, really? You guys are nuts.
I agree completely.
You know, KB, what I have to say here is those things are not always accurate, I don't think, because Rose's missing posters have 3 things that are completely false, and they have still not been corrected, even on the FBI website now. So do they just, like, quickly put those things together and put them out and then never correct them? I don't know. I honestly don't know, but at this point it doesn't matter because she's not 3 feet now, if she is alive.
Right.
Okay, keep going.
July 8th, 2021 at 8:25 a.m. Jody Sue texts Andy. I'm going to break my foot off sideways in someone's ass.
Oh,
Weeks of no rest, and these motherfuckers and their company and church dipshit visitors can't have some goddamn courtesy still for their neighbor and shut the fuck up and not be honking horns and being loud as fuck. Bad neighbors. Yeah, they should meet themselves. Didn't you just say that?
I love these.
Andy said, sorry. Jody says, I mean, I'm glad they are sleeping fine and giving more damns than they do when they dump or hurt animals or lose one, but I'm not okay and I'm damn sure not sleeping. Most likely because of some trash-ass monster they've brought into our community who knew or knows them and took Summer. Andy says, love you. Jody says, yeah, he's trying. Jody says, my nice is running out and I'm dying literally and I just want to rest. And of course that shit next door starts at dawn every day. She continues, I just want to get the fuck away from these rash ass weirdos. Potential incestuous pedo next door. I want my kids to feel safe again. I want to feel safe again. Get on with doing the house and the cabin and be left in peace. I can't stomach living here if they stay over there after this. Our kids and grandkids will always be at risk or in danger if they don't move. I think the kids and I are going to move. We're never going to feel safe, can't find peace here again, no matter how all of this goes. The little peace we had left, having to live beside of these fucking weirdos the last few years, wasn't very much. But now none remain, and they've taken every ounce and sliver of joy or peace they had already managed to suck the neighborhood dry of as well. And there's no getting it back or returning to the normal ever. The kids and I are going through this shit because of this. Emotionally, mentally, it's taken a toll. It's also bringing up things for me that I didn't even realize existed any longer or could even be triggered or accessed so many decades later.
So she's back to hating the neighbors,
Yes, ma'am.
and she wants to move, but yet she tried to buy Jackie Dobbs' property and is pissed, right?
Yes, ma'am.
She just doesn't make any sense, and she'll probably go live about us. She's just so filled with hate. And she pretty much is still on YouTube, right?
Oh, yeah.
She's kind of reactionary like Lame Katie. I mean, anytime somebody talks about her, she goes live and
She's completely reactionary. What do you mean? That's all she's done for 5 years is react to everything that everybody has ever said pertaining to this case.
Or like
with nicknames and code words all included, don't get me wrong, but like it's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, she's like Ernie or Katie, just so easily triggered and can't stand any. I mean, you put yourself out there, you make yourself a public figure, you go live, for like 12 hours at a time. And yet, if anybody says anything about it, you're pissed. Well,
Right.
Just don't go live, right?
Yeah, to be honest, like I truly feel sorry for the hand that Jody's been dealt with all this. Like it's rocked her world completely. And Andy, mind you. Their lives have completely changed because this happened across the street from their house. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I do have empathy for her for that. And I've never wanted to talk about her. Like I've never belittled Jody or really, I've never wanted to speak on Jody. The only reason these are included is because she made them public and they are so telling. And I had to include them because of that. I felt like it was a disservice to I didn't want to include them because I do feel sorry for her at times, but I feel like it was a disservice to the story if they weren't included because there's a lot of inside information involved, in there that needed to be included.
Why the hell would you put that out about yourself? No.
And that's what I was trying to figure out for the longest time because they don't paint her in a good light at all.
No.
I think she was just trying to pull on people's heartstrings for in her eyes, the domestic situation that she'd been going through. Yeah, I think that's what she was trying to highlight and it did not come across that way. Let's put it that way.
But Andy is a lot nicer in those texts than she is.
I agree completely.
I mean, it makes you wonder how the hell he put up with it for so long, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, my sister had Graves' disease. So yeah, I know all about that. Okay.
So next we actually have the David Dotson interview with Unmasked, and I'm not reading the whole interview. It's 5 pages, y'all.
Yeah, I'll go over it again. I have all those, so I was intending to replay those anyway.
Yeah, it's at least 10. I got another text message after that. So the last text message was, hang on, let me look. I'm sorry. July 8th. I think this is the very next day. Yep, July 9th at noon. JSB, Cy, Andy, what's wrong? JSB, That damn loud ass fucking car is back in here with its bullshit. Guess the dope heads think it's been long enough. Andy, probably love you. Jody, but just can't rest. Just constant shit over there at the neighbors. Dogs, now dope heads again. Day and night. Plus I'm being eaten alive by ivy or chiggers. I want to claw my own skin off. And this is like 4 hours later. She texts again. The goddamn tree motherfuckers are back. I swear to God, I just cannot. Chainsaws today and taking our lumber, it sounds like. I thought there were car noises back in this morning. I wasn't wrong. But I went in to rest like everybody wants. Every time I do, I miss shit like this. They are on our piece that doesn't even goddamn have a power line running on it. And they are never here after 3 p.m. Why are they here after 4? Andy says, I don't know. Jody just says, is Brian there today? And Andy says, was.
Well, that's interesting. People make a note of that. They're never here after 3.
Yeah.
So they were gone before Candy and Summer and Candace got home on the 15th, right?
Probably. That would be my assumption as well.
People keep speculating, oh, they were there and this and that. Apparently they were gone, or Jody Sue would not have said this. Okay, wait.
She said they were never there.
Okay, so YouTube put out Jody Sue Brown first. Squall Tip proclaimed her sus. Okay, so I can clarify that, and then I think we'll stop for today. Okay, the story is, Squall Tip claimed that Frank Light tied her up, and as far as I know, that's it. She said, let me go, and he did. Now, does that make sense? Because she said that there was going to be a trial, and Jody Sue was supposed to testify for her. Now, was Jody Sue there? I don't know what Jody Sue was supposed to testify about, but then she said Jody Sue did not show up, and that's why she hates her. Now, I cannot find any record of that incident anywhere. I don't think that ever happened. There's no record of any charges or trial or anything to do with that.
I never heard anything about Jody supposed to be involved or show up for it. I never heard that side of it.
Yeah. Now, Jody, but they do know each other, because I was in chat and said, somebody was saying something about Jody, and I said, do you think that's, and I'm not going to say her real name. Well, I said, do you think, yes, I did say her real name. And Jody says, oh, yeah, you mean Squall Tit. So she knows who she is. But I don't know what the whole, that's why Squall Tit hates Jody Sue. And, Squall Tit has those child abuse convictions.
No, I didn't.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Innocent just posted that. She's got 2 convictions for child abuse in Virginia, and which is where she's coming from. And her daughter posts on Facebook constantly, and she is still traumatized. She posts about all the abuse that she suffered on there.
Oh, wow.
Being strangled and thrown against a wall, and it's horrible. Yeah. So I think that's why she kind of doesn't want anybody to know who she is.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Innocent, when I was telling her about that, she said I was her mod. I thought she was really nice. What was her other? She had 2 channels. Squall Tit, and what was the other one? It was another bird. Another bird name.
I just knew of the one.
No, she had 2. Squall stole Jody Sue Brown's Facebook video. Hi, Sylvia. She also allegedly stole Tennessee Truth's abuse story and use that as her own. Yeah. So a lot of twists and turns there.
Nonstop.
Leaves you wondering, doesn't it? Okay,
Yeah.
so that's about it. So when is part 4? When are you available again?
Possibly Friday.
Okie dokie. Sounds good.
I think I could do that.
Okay.
Maybe. I have to double check one thing, but I'm gonna say Friday.
Okay, well let me
maybe a
know and
little,
I'll schedule it.
maybe at 10 o'clock.
Okay,
Possibly.
that's
I'll
fine.
get back to you. I'll get back to you. Maybe 9. We'll see. I got
Okay.
something going on, but I'm not sure what time I'll be done.
Okay, thanks everybody for being here. Thanks my mods and thanks for all your comments and I hope you learned something. Maybe you took some notes, but yeah, I learned some things. I always do. The length of my mind? Oh my god, she must have had 1 million. I think she still has her gaming channel up. She's such a huge gamer.
Oh, was that the other?
No, she had it was another bird name. Squalted is a bird, and she had another
Yeah.
bird. The other channel was another bird name. Okay. But yeah, come back for part 4 and we will continue on because what page are we on now?
If we skip through the interview, we're to 43.
Well, we're just whipping right through it.
I'm a fast reader. We're trying. It's going a lot quicker, so
I can't imagine
so.
the amount of research you've done to put this together. Nobody else has done this.
Oh
That's for
man.
sure.
Oh man. You have no idea. A lot. But I'll be honest, like technology did help me a little bit with the interviews because I mean, I'll be honest, at the beginning of this case, I was transcribing longhand. That was a nightmare. So I upgraded my situation a little bit so I don't have to do that anymore. Yeah, it's made it a little bit easier this last year, thank goodness. So there's so many interviews that people have deleted though, and I'm just so scared that that information is gonna like this David Dotson. I just skipped a 10-page interview that's not available online anymore, but I have it. It's right here, black and white.
Well, yeah, I played it and went over it, but I'll have to do that. I'll have to do all those unmasks again, and I want to do Ziggy Valero again. Once I go over everything, then I'll be pretty much done with Summer Wells. I mean, you know what I mean. I don't mean
I
that
understand.
nasty, but yeah.
Yeah, we're just rehashing. Yeah, we're just rehashing at this point.
Over, so,
no, there's not. Other than just trying to dispel all the ridiculous rumors that are coming around again. And it's so sad because a lot of this stuff is not the first time we've heard it. That's the real frustrating part. We're just,
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you like it, KB. I hope that yeah, I hope people are listening and taking note and realizing that a lot of information, quote unquote, out there is incorrect. Do you think the most relevant info right now is the search on the Tree Guy's property? I don't think anything came of that, honestly. We haven't seen any movement since then.
No, nothing.
So, I mean, that was a tip and they checked it out and that seems to be the end of that. Yeah, the gaming channel was weird. Okay, so we'll see you all possibly Friday. I will be going over some Lightning Tiger shit tomorrow if you want to tune in for that. Okay, so thanks everybody and we'll see you later.
Have a good night. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome, dear.